Hokage. My Nine Tails, Infinite Resurrection. Chapter 61. Right here. Cemetery. Bofeng Shui Gate and Ju Shinai landed. Stood in front of the tombstone of the 8th flying sun. In this, another figure has been waiting for a long time. You're Iruka. Bofeng Shuiman also has a deep memory of this child who has been very understanding since childhood. However, during the Nine Tails Rebellion, Iruka's parents also died. Naruto mentioned you to me, and he said that thanks to you, he was recognized as a ninja. Bofeng Shuiman smiled and stretched out his hand, and at the same time placed the sacrifice in front of the tomb of the 8th flying sun. But he is now. Iruka wanted to say that Naruto was no longer a ninja, but how could he say such words? Deny the child who burns like fire. As a teacher, he will never be able to do it. How can you deny your own children? You mean Konoha Shinobi, ninja, everywhere is a ninja, as long as you carry out your life's thoughts, everywhere is the same, isn't it? Bofeng Shuiman looked at the photo on the tombstone of the 8th flying sun, and said thoughtfully. Actually, I have seen 3 generations in the past world of the pure land of bliss. Why do you still come to worship? Iruka was surprised, he didn't know if there would be any pure land of bliss outside this world. He also didn't know if this Wave Feng Shui Gate was the admirable 4th generation Hokage. But since he had seen 3 generations as a soul, why worship again? It's different, when I come back to life, I'm a living person, and this is my chance to do it all over again, isn't it? But you, I knew early on, I would appear here, very powerful. Quote. Well, in the village, there are very few people you miss, and the 3rd generation of Hokage-sama should be one of them. Iruka voiced his guess. Hear this sentence. Ju Shinai's gaze changed, it seemed that their Naruto's eyes were good, this Iruka was indeed a delicate and gentle person. They are coming, I can't stay, but you have a familiar aura in your body that is familiar with Qingling Ninja Village. The last thing I want to tell you is that this power called Chakra Martial Dao has unlimited potential, and it must be continuously cultivated. It was Naruto who asked me to give it to you. Quote. Bofeng Shui Men threw a cup noodle to Iruka. The latter smiled helplessly. This disguise method is Naruto, that's right. This is said to be the cultivation method of martial arts under patience, you should need a while to break through, then just follow this. By the way, I have seen it, the use of martial arts and the attached Qingling Immortal Art Chi-Chi chapter are actually the most rare, especially martial arts, you must be careful to cultivate. So much for that, I hope to have the opportunity to get together next time. Quote. In terms of the age of rebirth now, Bofeng Shuiman is not much older than Iruka. Bofeng Shuiman has no chance to stay any longer. He knew that what followed was the ultimate performance. Ready. Ju Shinai turned on the 9-tailed chakra mode to protect himself, so as not to be able to withstand it in the next further telling state. Do you want to destroy the mausoleum? Kai appeared, and just now, they killed the 3 shadow doppelgangers arranged in the village by the Wave Feng Shui Gate. Finally, the battle was over and I came here. I have to say that in the state of protecting his wife's high-speed movement, it is also rare to use a shadow avatar to confuse the opponent. Watergate turned around. Swish. Hinata Hiyashi also came here. His gaze turned coldly towards the Bofeng Shui Gate. Because her daughter is not much different in age from Naruto. Before birth. I thought that maybe the 2 children would meet in the future and wait until the day they grew up. Haka's Mizuman is also in his 40s, and their Hyuga clan will marry Hokage's son. Of course, this is all a little idea that has been had. The marriage between the great clan and the strong is a thing that has always happened. It's a pity. Naruto was born and as soon as he learned to cry, the couple left him. Not to mention Hinata, where else is there any chance to get married? Facing a dangerous 9-tailed human pillar force, they were too late to avoid it. There are more and more familiar figures. Seeing that this group of children have grown to the point of being alone, Bofeng Shuiman is also very happy. When he saw his 3 guards, he couldn't help but be happy. Are they also particularly tolerant? Although it is not particularly strong, it has also improved a lot. 8 Flying Asma and Sunset Red should also be married. Kai seemed to be alone. Bofeng Shuiman nodded, like an elder who returned to the family after leaving for many years. Children. He smiled and said, "Next you have to catch up with my speed. Let me see how much stronger you guys have become." Quote. There is an increase in the attributes of the green spirit, the chakra doubles, and the physique transforms. Coupled with the completion of the nine-tailed chakra gestation, it can use the nine-tailed chakra mode. Wave Feng Shuimin also has an immortal mode that can be used, which is not to say powerful in this state. At least it's enough to go where you go. Take Zhu Xinai's hand. Back to the old hometown, the Wave Feng Shui gate turned into a golden flash. This Naka Shinobu, who was originally going to chase again, was only stunned for a moment before he saw a light that stretched across the entire Konoha village. Too fast. The naked eye can no longer discern its speed. Is this the great fusion of the immortal mode and the nine-tailed chakra mode? The four energies of spirit, body, nature, and the nine tails work perfectly together in a ratio of 1:1. Quote. The first moment when Bofeng Shuimin made a move. Zhu Xinai appeared outside the village. She watched this scene with tears and laughter. Konoha is as bright as day, what a beautiful golden light. It's okay, don't be afraid that I will reject the fairy chakra, the more you drag, the happier my body is. Qingling said happily. It's really good, he can't wait for the feng shui gate to consume chakra dozens of times faster. While the chakra trench coat extends into a robe, the pupils of the wave feng shui gate also change. The perfect nine-tailed fairy mode. In this state, his level of pressure has increased again. In an instant, he walked all over the village. The fourth generation has long left the flying thunder god mark in every corner in the chase with us. Hinata knew they had already lost. No malicious night raids. Ape Fei Asma saw that all around him were full of golden light, and it was hard to imagine that this was really human power. Too soon, did he come back here just to see the village? That Jiraiya-sama and Tsunade-sama are not also. She. Raihong was surprised. Could it be said that these strong people all returned to Qingling Ninja Village? No, if that's the case, then how can they still get a foothold in Konoha Village? Does Hinata really want Hinata to become the fifth Hokage? Can the powerful clan grow again? Jiraiya also invited Tsunade back. In addition to his unwillingness to be restrained, he also had a layer of thoughts that he did not want to lie down on the decline of the great clan. Because that day also meant that the ninja completely lost his status. But if Hinata becomes the fifth generation, not many people agree, and he can act as a face. After today, Konoha village will undoubtedly fall into a stalemate. Rudderless ship. When everyone was speechless, Kai started warming up. What are you going to do? Of course, try to chase it. This is the task given to us by the fourth generation of Hokage-sama, it is too young and hot-blooded. Kei doesn't worry about these issues at all. Simultaneous moments. When golden light flows to every corner of the village. One scroll after another also landed in front of the doors of each household. Shikamaru, Hinata and others even obtained the martial arts shinobi chapter. Speed is power. Kai, who opened the sixth door, chased after him with the speed he could achieve in this state. In the end, it fell short. The light in the village is too dazzling. It was as if the Wave Feng Shuimin couple had passed through the haze of time and space for 13 years and stretched out their hands to them. This family is worthy of everyone in Konoha village. Everyone here doesn't want to be worthy of them. The ninja world often has a brutal war for decades, even decades. Iruka, there are too many children like Naruto. Who can take care of whom? If you don't solve the problem at the source, it's all in vain. Just like these 13 years. Bofeng Shuimin left and returned, and how much has changed in the world. It was as if he had just left yesterday and drank a cup of tea. There is only a moment of light, and life should have beauty. The Wave Feng Shui gate stopped in an instant. Walking out of Konoha village and completing the task assigned by Qingling, he also personally walked through every corner of Konoha village, and looked at the traces of the past of this village. Behind him, Kai is still sweating his youth, chasing flashes. Bofeng Shuimin and Zhu Xinai walked into the distance. Tonight. Go slower. I came in too much of a hurry, I should have missed something, and I just had a look. How long the road their son was forced to leave Konoha was. Maybe. There are many deceased people on this road. View from above. Konoha village has a continuous stretch of light that twists and turns until this moment it perfectly dissipates and turns into a cloud of light and dust. Kai stopped at the door of the Ninja Academy. The shadow doppelganger of the Wave Feng Shui Gate has been waiting here for a long time. After handing a martial arts scroll into his hand, he dispersed satisfied. Is it a shadow doppelganger? But when did this happen? Kai admitted that with only 6 doors, it was impossible to chase the Wave Feng Shui Gate in a full state. Otherwise, he would not have been laid out in silence. Holding the scroll in his hand, Kai's eyes flickered and slowly opened it. A new world has since opened. Konoha Village. From this night onwards, it is destined not to sink into the past. The 4th generation of Hokage left the village and left them with an unimaginable fortune. One day they will find out how lucky they are to learn the chakra martial arts earlier than other villages and even countries. Those who had been practicing chakra martial arts for a long time because of Naruto silently sneaked into the night and continued to cultivate. In the near future, when the major ninja villages first surrounded the Qingling Ninja Village, they will shine like stars, and if they don't sound, they will be a blockbuster. Mountains outside the mountains. Moon under the river. The squirming ninja team is hidden here. Wave Feng Shui Gate. Jushina left Qingling Shinobi Village and went to Konoha Village at the same time. Iwane Village, which had left early, arrived overnight. Take advantage of the night to hide in the distant forest. Han clasped his arms with both hands, and the figure of Lao Zi quickly appeared beside him. If the ninja of Iwane Village behind him is the arrangement of the old man of the Earth Shadow, then, as a Yunyu monk, Lao Zi came here today purely to make friends with Han. Behind the tree, 2 figures who had been hiding for a long time slowly walked out. Fei Duan smiled, and the horns were gloomy. The 2 have many lives and one hard life, and they are simply the best teammates. Greedy for money with many lives, crazy with hard lives, 2 people are destined to not have much contradiction. It seems that there is no Konoha village tonight, and the sand-hidden village makes a move. Kakato said coldly. Logically speaking, it is safer for the 3 ninja villages to join forces with them. Unfortunately, Yenian village had a complete falling out with them, and it was impossible to join forces in a short period of time. Otherwise, you can catch it all. Fei Duan thought to himself, it would be a very good choice to be able to sacrifice all 4 tails and 5 tails for the evil god lord. Thinking of this, his eyes became feverish. Tonight, Uchiha Itachi and Dry Persimmon Oni should definitely be able to take Yaoi by joining forces, and they are taking advantage of the battle between Iwane Village and Qingling Shinobi Village. Take down the 9 tails, 1 tail. One night is enough to collect its 5-tailed beasts. The 3 tails can be caught at any time, and Union Village, which does not have the power of the 8-tailed human pillar, is difficult to support the remaining 2 tails. It can be said, in a short period of time, you can take down all 7-tailed beasts. As for the 7 tails, the 6 tails will naturally be caught by hand at that time. In a word, as long as this battle is over, the final victory will belong to them. Fei Duan's heart is still about sacrifice. Kakato began to calculate the benefits. It's perfect. Tonight's attack on Qingling Ninja Village can be said to be 100% profit. Thinking of this, the horns are hidden in the high collar, and the corners of the mouth under the mask can't help but rise. Don't say more, we temporarily attract their firepower, don't break into it, you seize the opportunity to strike and take down the other party's strong man. Han didn't explain, he knew what was most important in the moment. Just do as you say, but there are quite a few monsters in this village, and we also have teammates torturing the sand here, so you have to be careful everywhere. Fei Duan's words are simply perfunctory. What he really meant was that you should all die. After all, even if you were sacrificed, the evil god lord would not be happy. It has to be a tailed beast. As soon as he thought of this, Fei Duan couldn't help but tremble with excitement. It's so beautiful, I really want to see the enemy die in despair. In that way, the evil god master will happily favor him. Han, be careful. Lao Zi reminded, and the flying section and the horn all passed by. For some reason, he was always not interested in this gang. I had heard of the prestige of Yuyan Village when I was traveling in the clouds before, and I also knew that there was an organization named Shao that was secretly receiving bounty tasks, and they were powerful. It constantly caused wars between villages and between countries, and made a fortune. Even for some weak villages. Shao is their ninja. Because ninjas also need rewards and mission money for performing tasks. It is better to choose an organization that is better in price and stronger and more professional. Sure enough. With this advantage, their power is growing faster and faster. Nowadays, the war, assassination and other tasks in the ninja world have long been in his hands. Is there an unknown conspiracy behind it? Lao Zi didn't dare to be sure, but Han, who also often performed tasks alone, also knew about it. He reminded him that he would not let the place relax its vigilance. Happy cooperation. Kakato said this, but in his heart he wished that the two of them would die. Two people Zhu Li, if they can die after being taken away from chakra, then their hearts will also be very good. If you can get the heart of four people pillar power. That's just wonderful. Kakato can already imagine a bright future when he lives with heaven and earth. The four of them sneaked into the village from different directions in tacit understanding. The ninjas of Iwahide village also went to all corners in an instant. Tudin Tuliu wall. Earthen walls rise from the ground. What they want this time is not the tactics of the sea of people, but the sneaking into Qingling ninja village according to the batch, and constantly taking advantage of the Tudin. Dodge, defend. This earthen wall maze starts from the outer layer and expands towards Qingling ninja village. Four figures also took advantage of the night to sneak in. Strangely, the village was quiet, and Ai Luo, Sasuke, Naruto and others slept exceptionally peacefully. It is not people who are on duty tonight. It's a nine-tailed fox. Amazing, the breath on this tree makes me feel a familiar breath. Fei Duan was puzzled, he had gone straight to the secret room under this big tree. When he arrived at the door, he was so shocked that he was speechless. It's weird. This thing gave him the illusion of 10 tails. Good majestic energy and chakra. The horns are not shock, they are greed. Want to sneak in. Han stood in the corner and looked behind him, one after another, tall earthen walls, covering the sky. The entire Qingling ninja village was transformed into a maze. One by one, the ninjas of Iwahide village gathered and were overjoyed. It seems that they are about to succeed, and the so-called Qingling Nine Tails is nothing remarkable. Beware of fraud. Old Z was as motionless as a mountain, and he felt that there was definitely something tricky here. Konoha and Qingling ninja village are broken, no one here knows how deep the water is, it's better to be careful. Han considers himself the first person to crack the true background of Qingling ninja village. It is also the person who let Yenian village break away from the alliance of the three major ninja villages, and he feels that he has made a great contribution. Qingling ninja village is really quiet and weird. Comparatively speaking, Jiaodu, as the most desperate one, is the most indifferent one. There is no dangerous atmosphere, this village is sleeping, someone deliberately sleeps for it, I think, it is the hunters who are waiting for the rabbit. Hunter. Han and Lao Zi looked at the top of the big tree at the same time, as the tailed orc pillar force, that kind of intrinsic sense of danger made their hair stand on end. What a strong sense of oppression. On the trunk of the tree, a glowing nine-tailed fox was lying there, silently watching all of them. At this time, Aikijuru, who was hidden in the black cauldron, sat high, shaking his fat paws and giggling. Monkey King. King Mew. Shuhei ate fried skewers with a foolish expression on his face. The two-tailed beasts roared at the same time in the ears of the human pillar force. With tailed beast Jade. Tailed beast Jade. This means that the tail beast must also be turned on, and so many strong people join forces. Do you need to open big as soon as you come up? Lao Zi is confident enough in his strength. Unlike Han, who personally experienced the horror of the nine-tailed man pillar Naruto. He didn't believe that the four tails could have such a big gap with the nine tails. In the face of the call of the four-tailed Sun Wukong, he still hesitated. Do you really want to use tailed beast Jade? Don't even fight to come up with a killer app. How can it be? He's an old purple. Rumble. Melt chakra mode. Open. The high-temperature lava wrapped around the body, enveloping it inside, and bursting out with unprecedented combat power. The art of melting river rock. Old Z turned into this state of both attack and defense, quickly melting the stone road on the soles of his feet, and his strength and speed increased again. Unprecedented combat power erupted. King Mew. Join me and try again. Quote. How can Han be willing? He has only lost once, will he lose every time? Steam Ninja, open the vapor armor. One boil, one melt. Han, he is not the Nine Tails, he has the nine-tailed chakra on him, but by no means the Nine Tails, he is too powerful. King Mu still remembers the night he met Naruto. He had wondered why there were two Nine Tails. One of them, who looked like a dog, stood there silently. Now, when King Mu really sensed the chakra of the green spirit with Sun Wukong, he only wanted to use the tailed beast Jade directly. He has at least 3 times as many chakras on him as the Nine Tails. How is it possible? Among the nine-tailed beasts, the strength of the Nine Tails is the undisputed first. Even if the 8-tailed beasts besieged the Nine Tails together, it was just tricky. How can this guy be so strong? Lao Zi, if you don't succeed in this blow, then retreat as fast as possible, block it with the tailed beast Jade again, and then escape as far as you can. Monkey King gave his own advice. In his opinion, Yao is not enough to be afraid. As long as he fights hard, he can fight back and forth. However, the Nine Tails are not a magnitude with them, and they can fight a dozen in a short period of time but will never lose. In terms of personality, he will never admit defeat and give in soft. The Qingling just lay there, exuding powerful coercion all the time. Scary. This guy is also just a doppelganger, and the real ontology always seems to be busy. I advise you to leave quickly. There are still many of his doppelgangers in this village. If you wake up one by one, I am afraid that you will not be able to eat and go. Shozuru said in a cool voice. In the face of these two old friends, he has already been regarded as the end of benevolence and righteousness without falling into the well. Boiling power. One body is scalding lava, and one vapor is rising. Facing in different directions, they crashed into the front of Qingling. He lay on the tree trunk and yawned lazily. It's so cute, isn't death really worth mentioning to you? Qingling's words did not fall. The fox face of the big tree suddenly opened its mouth. The large mouth of the blood basin directly extended the chains one after another. Unlike the 10 tails, the orange chakra chain in the shape of Chakra's arm summoned by the Qing spirit directly tied the two oncoming people. Melting, boiling and constantly struggling. In the end, it didn't help. The speed of their destruction is not comparable to the speed at which this chakra's arm heals. Roar. Sun Wukong slapped his chest in annoyance, and the old purple was completely tailed into a beast. Meanwhile, Han no longer had any illusions, and quickly started to completely tail beast. What the 10 tails ate was just chakra, a tailed beast that was temporarily unconscious. Qingling poured well, and directly wanted to absorb the human pillar force and the tailed beast together as nutrients. 9 llamas. Shozuru. Where did you get this means? Monkey. King slapped Chakra's arm hard, trying to struggle out. 10 tails. This is the 10 tails that lacks chakra. What the hell are you going to do? 9 llamas. King Mu also panicked. He didn't want to die like that. Could it be that the 9 tails are to evolve into the 10 tails? Others don't know what the true face of the 10 tails is. Their 9-tailed beasts were created by the 6 immortals with the yin and yang escape technique and the power of yin and yang to create all things. I was told my mission at the beginning of my birth. They came from the 10 tails in order to avoid the same tragedies as in ancient times. Why? In the end, the 9 tails, as the 9 llamas who was once most cherished by the 6 Tao immortals, will repeat the mistakes of the past. That day was not an invincible 10 tails, it was an era that bore fruit. It's the resurrection of that big tube of Kagaya. Nani. Not to mention the ninja of Iwahide village. Even Fei Duan was dumbfounded, but the people who came to catch the tailed beast today were the 2 of them. How did they become the tailed beast and catch the tail beast? Is this reasonable? Zhaodu stood aside, already feeling a sense of crisis. He had felt that the whole village was sleeping deeply, and until now it was peaceful. It was obvious that Qingling did it intentionally. Is this guy going to catch turtles in the urn? Just when the 2 of them hesitated. 6 chakra chains flew in, and when one caught the flying segment, the horns were directly tied by the 5 flowers. My abilities were leaked. Kakato never thought that he would be betrayed by Xiao. But how could his ability to press the bottom of the box be seen? It's all coming, how can I go back alive? Qingling's eyes closed. The light comes on. When he saw Qingling's blood-red 9-hook jade reincarnation writing Will I. Zhaodu and Fei Duan even had the idea of scolding Niang in their hearts. Lord Evil God, I will be sacrificed to you. Fei Duan cursed, and at the same time quickly approached Jiaodu. The latter also knew his thoughts and tried his best to get close to the other party. This battle. It's just getting started. Compound Ninja FA Flame Storm. The Fire of the Earth Grudge, the Wind Escape Mask Monster joined forces at the same time. Cast Fire and Head Hard and Wind and Crush respectively. Combined Ninjutsu. This move is so fierce that it is enough to turn an area visible to the naked eye into smoke. Only a popping explosion was heard. Fireballs were constantly blessed by the wind, making a deafening sound. However, no matter how terrifying this momentum was, the 5 chakra chains bound him in an orderly manner. But under this powerful thrust, Kakuto's figure quickly moved closer to the flying section. The latter also had a smile on his face and was crazy. Great, great, Lord Evil God, it must be wonderful if this 9 tails were sacrificed directly to you. Fei Duan laughed maniacally. Whether the 9 tails can be killed he doesn't know, but at least he won't die. As long as he can make the 9 tails suffer a heavy blow, it will be enough to satisfy him. At this time, the horns are methodically exuding black antennae and silk threads. With 5 hearts and a constant surge of masks, he was already ready. The premise is that a heart can escape. However, with the flying section in place, finding such a glimmer of opportunity must be a breeze. This guy's weird ability is unpleasant. The undead duo, on the premise of not dying. Strong is strong in one with all kinds of ninjutsu and chakra, and the other can be said to be an absolute strong person who singles out. After all, no matter how strong you are, you can't face an opponent who won't die. Fei Duan's short silver hair and purple-red eyes exude his maniac aura all the time. Che, really think I'm indifferent? This tree is connected to you, and theoretically, its blood is your blood. Fei Duan stepped Kakuto's back, holding a bloody March sickle, laughing maniacally. This is a rare real collaboration between him and Kaku. Using constant help and attacks, it seems that they are making enemies of the green spirit and breaking the chakra chain, but they are actually trying to get closer to each other. When you pay the 5-tailed and 4-tailed human pillar power, I obtain the sap of this tree, which is blood to the tree, and likewise, he is connected to you as one. This is the blood of your body. Fei Duan smiled wittily, and the expression in his eyes became more and more frenzied. I'm afraid of death. After fusing his own blood, Fei Duan directly used Jiaodu's back to draw a simple spell seal formation. When he looked at Qingling again, he was full of mockery. Go and die. He held a scythe in both hands and reaped himself directly. Spear anti-injury spell death division by blood. Swish. Blood was dripping, and the scythe directly penetrated Feden's body. The next moment, the big tree directly rumbled with a loud bang, and also opened a big hole, at the same moment. The Qingling, lying on the trunk of the tree, was also injured in the same way. What is it? Causal weapons. Quote. Qingling has always been curious about why the ability of the flying section is so outrageous. Ha 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 ha, when I saw that the sap of the big tree was blood red, I knew about your relationship, it seems that my guess is correct. Fei Duan feels like he has won a big victory and constantly attacks himself. Kakuto was also excited to kill his teammates. Originally, he was still struggling, ready to use Tailed Beast Jade to give Qingling a taste. I saw the crazy scene of these two. I saw that Qingling and the new 10 tails continued to suffer heavy damage, and they continued to recover. Each time it takes a lot of chakra to recover, but the speed is not reduced in the slightest. They had thought that Qingling would stop the flying segment as fast as possible. Unexpectedly, he enjoyed it very much and looked comfortable. Lying there quietly, it was very comfortable. It's really good, this feeling of rapidly consuming chakra, it's wonderful. Qingling smiled and looked at Fei Duan and Jiaodu, both of them only felt creepy. It doesn't seem simple. He does have an immortal body and amazing healing abilities, but he also needs someone to suture the wound and replenish nutrition. This means the importance of your teammate, and only you who have a long life in heaven and earth are suitable for his company. Qingling said while nodding in satisfaction. He allowed the flying segment to attack continuously, enjoying the process of heavy damage and rapid healing. It's a pity. Fei Duan was the only person who survived that evil god experiment and obtained an immortal body. If there are tens of thousands of flying segments, then Qingling should be able to upgrade one level in a day. Is this the Nine Tails? Fei Duan was shocked, he himself was covered in blood, and he almost fell to the ground. As a result, the power he was proud of was simply ineffective against Qingling. It's more than that. Even his own immortal body, healing ability was not worth mentioning in front of Qingling. Look at this healing speed, who are the two of us who are the immortal bodies? Go on, I'm in a good mood tonight, you two will work overtime. Qingling spoke calmly to the flying section, and the horns all confessed. Immediately, his eyes looked at the four-tailed Sun Wukong, the five-tailed Mu King. You two, you can also be regarded as old brothers, why don't you open your mind, and don't persuade your people to be strong, the strength is so poor, can you succeed in attacking me at night? Qingling glanced at them and pretended to prompt casually. If you can resolve your previous suspicions with the major ninja villages, everyone will also work together, ah. That would be terrible, so many ninjas, if they unite into an army of ninjas, wouldn't our Qingling ninja village be wiped out? Even if I am strong, I will exhaust chakra and die. Qingling squeezed his eyebrows, crazy prompting. Shuhei looked stupid, he thought to himself, really envious, as long as these two complete the task assigned by the Green Spirit, they will definitely be able to obtain the chakra of all attributes, as well as several times the increase. No way. He thought about it again, if all the tailed beasts increased once. Wouldn't he seem weak again? Thinking of this, Shuhei's pressure made his fat head hurt even more. They don't have a good relationship with the other tailed beasts, Stinky Fox, if you let me go with them to persuade those guys, it will definitely beat you up. Oh. Qingling glanced at the one beside him, always thinking that he would not be at the bottom and become the second most powerful tailed beast's guardian crane. Fat courtesy, you have to know that it is very dangerous outside, if you go out alone, you may be caught again. Hehe, who can beat me? As long as the eldest brother is willing to let a doppelganger accompany me, the younger brother is the same as the saddle before and after. Shuhei wanted to retort. Say he's not a tanuki. But when he thought that he had secretly cultivated the chakra martial Dao these days, the progress was getting slower and slower, and as a tailed beast he consumed more chakra, it was difficult to break through, he was stretched. It seems that you must be well behaved and make merit to make Qingling bleed again. This second-tailed beast, he should be determined. It's a little calculation, but this proposal is not bad, Naruto and Iroh should also go through the experience. Sato nodded, remembering Sasuke again. A few of you go first, and the other ninjas from Iwayne village are all detained and become reserve ninjas. Swish. Fei Duan, Jiaodu, Han, Lao Zi, together with the four tails, and the five tails were all thrown into the big tree and big belly. You ate them. Shuhei was taken aback, did he think that Qingling was easy to kill? No, eating them will make me stronger, that kind of strength is just a loss, it's better to directly double the increase. Qingling's words, Shuhei did not understand, only knew that King Mu and Sun Wukong were still alive. That's good. It is not to be considered to have failed the 9 llamas and the 6 old men. In the belly of the new 10 tails, 4 cages constantly supply them with energy, allowing them to accelerate chakra's recovery. Strange, shouldn't this draw our chakra? How is it speeding up our healing? Han looked puzzled. Don't you know about pig farming? Old Z said coldly. Hearing this sentence made the horns shudder, did he really want to die here? Wonderful, wonderful. The flying segment was excited. I know, this is the evil god, the blue spirit 9 tails is the evil god lord, he is simply a madman among the madmen, he must be the human body of the evil god lord. Opposite the cage, the giant 9-tailed sighed, staring coldly at the 4 ninjas who were famous outside. Have you heard of the Yagi Great Snake? What Qingling has to do is to create a brand new tailed beast, the Yagi Great Serpent. The person he chose well, Zhu Li, is none other than Sasuke Uchiha. This will be one of his perfect masterpieces to consume chakra. Yagi Great Snake. How familiar this term is. However, if you talk about Yaoi, Kagaya Itsuki is still a real existence in legends. Then the Great Snake of Yagi is just a myth. The Gai Yagi Great Serpent has 8 heads and 8 tails, and its body is as tall as 8 mountains, and it is 5 powerful, and it is enough to destroy a big mountain with a single move. If it weren't for the 3 major artifacts including the heavenly longitudinal cloud sword, as well as the strongest Yin-Yang master. It is estimated that he is arrogant enough to have no problem for a lifetime. However, the reality is, the 8 tails exist, but there is no 8-headed 8-tailed Yagi serpent in the world. It seems that you haven't seen it either. The Qingling incarnated into the complete state of the 9 tails, even in the body of the new 10 tails, it was still huge. The 4 tails locked in the cage, the 5 tails constantly use melting, boiling attacks to no avail. Don't make trouble, this guy is ridiculously strong, he is definitely not the 9 llamas, but he is also a stinky fox. Shuhei leisurely ate the roasted senbei and handed it to the 2 of them by the way. Tanuki, you have been with the 9 tails for so long, who is that Qingling, and where has the 9 llamas gone? King Mu of the 5 tails asked. Hearing this question, the 4-tailed Sun Wukong also looked curious. I don't know, but I've heard of one thing, this guy is going to be big, of course, everything he has to do is big. Shuhei thought about it and suddenly cursed. You are a Tanuki, your whole family is a Tanuki. Fat Tanuki, don't make trouble. The 4-tailed Monkey King said in a deep voice. Abominable. Shuhei no longer wanted to tell them, this is the new 10 tails, if you really want to extract their chakra, even if you desperately release the tailed beast Jade, it will be futile. It's nothing more than consuming your own chakra and waiting until you are caught. Shuhei also did not see outside, sitting directly outside the cage, watching the Shao Organization Undead Squad in the other 2 cages, eating his own roasted fairy shells. Hey, in other words, have you ever seen the Yagi Great Snake? Shuhei was also a little curious. Bull Ghost counts, he is only 7 heads behind. King Mu said seriously. Of course not, he's a bullhead. Shuhei really felt speechless, these 2 old brothers are looking for someone Zhu Li, really bad. It's not as good as his person, I'm a little woody, but his combat talent is still a must. I have the King Kong clan in Waguo Mountain, all of them are my subordinates, they can be turned into Ruyi Golden Hoop Stick. There are many strange races in this world, but if you really want to find a big snake of Yagi, that's a myth. The 4-tailed Monkey King said puzzled. Oh, yes. How could there be a great snake of Yagi in this world? If it really exists, its consumption speed of chakra will far exceed ordinary people's imagination, and it will be enough to destroy the world and the earth. It can even be on top of the 9 tails of the complete body. However, the current 9 tails seems to be much more abnormal. They couldn't guess the specific combat power of Qingling at all. It can only be seen as a conscious 10-tailed. Fly Duan, stop attacking, this guy is enjoying your curse. The horns are trying to stop the crazy flying segment. No, let him continue, this kid is very sensible, I like it. Qingling nodded his head in satisfaction. Fei Duan became more and more excited when he heard this, and he drew a new spell seal formation, constantly hitting himself hard, watching Qingling be attacked again and again, and recover perfectly again and again. He only felt that it was too perfect, and there was a realization in his heart that this was the real God. By the way, Kakato, you've lived for so long and seen a lot of strange things, so, have you seen the Yagi Great Snake? Qingling's question made Zhao not know how to answer. He originally came to complete the bounty and get some bounty. Think that you have a lot of life, plus the bug of flying segment, you can definitely save the danger. I never expected it. He will lose in the end with nothing, waiting for death in this empty space. Even the flying section fell into madness and was completely controlled by Qingling. He lost, very completely. Even sadder. As a hunter of tailed beasts, Shao is unfavorable. In the first battle, he was locked up by the tailed beast. Instead, the tailed beasts of Qingling Ninja Village directly increased to 4. This will undoubtedly further increase their combat power. In the face of such a terrifying combat power as Qingling, the combat power of the Shao organization of Ah Fei, Didera, Scorpion, Jiaodu, and Fei Duan will be further weakened. Abominable. Kakato only felt that he was uncomfortable all over his body. Could it be that the Shao organization would eventually be completely destroyed in the hands of Qingling? That's too miserable, they are rampant in the ninja world, and the days of making a fortune are about to pass completely. Hey, little one, what are you thinking? Haven't you seen the Yagi Great Snake either? Quote. Qingling is a little sad. But maybe, you can turn into the Great Snake of Yagi. Well, how does Kakato feel inexplicably terrifying? What is called, he can turn into the Yagi Great Snake. A sense of fear spread inexplicably throughout the body. Kakato only felt his feet tremble. He felt the coming and danger of death like never before. He has many lives because he is most afraid of death, and he constantly exchanges other people's hearts for secret techniques on himself, in order to live as long as possible. Why? It will be so terrible. What kind of devil is this green spirit? He had an intuition that in the next second, he would die. Jiaodu, is there anything in this world that you can't bear to do? Or, is anyone still worried about you? Qingling's words are not understandable to the horns at all. He doesn't care about anyone in this world, even Fei Duan is just a tool man. In order to improve the accuracy of his attacks during missions, he often attacks indiscriminately with flying segments. The only thing he wants is to live, and to make a fortune. If life ends here, everything will be a bubble, everything will be meaningless. He must survive in order to gain more wealth. It seems that you don't care, and no one cares about you, then it's a pity. I hope to see you again. The cage slowly opened. Fei Duan spat blood in his mouth, and was still frantically attacking himself. Qingling's chest was constantly bleeding, and he stretched out his claws. The fingertips that were as sharp as a knife pierced the horns in front of him. This old man who has lived for more than 90 years, cherishing his life and wealth for a lifetime, will end at this moment. Ha 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 ha, it's so great, this is power, this is God. I will crown you with the highest crown of God, Lord Evil God. Quote. In Fei Duan's purple-red eyes, he saw that the horns were sacrificed, and what he was about to meet was God. The green spirit is God. That invincible, evil being. Feel, the most powerful force in this world, you will become the embryo of the Yagi Great Serpent. Qingling poked his finger at the middle of the horn, directly piercing his heart and penetrating his body. The mask kept moving, trying to escape, but was caught by Qingling's other claw. Allowing it to continue to use secret attacks was indifferent. Rumble. The majestic chakra frantically poured into Kakato's body. Its body trembled continuously, and purple skin and slight scales began to be born. As this abnormality began, Kakato's consciousness continued to collapse. He rolled his eyes, his body expanding rapidly. The tails extend and turn into heads, giving birth to horns. Nope. In the roar of Jiaodu in pain, Fei Duan was laughing loudly. Rejoice, a new tailed beast is about to be born. This is the gift of the new 10 tails to the world. The wailing did not last long. In front of Qingling, a monster that was more than 10 meters tall was born. He has 8 heads and 8 tails, the head of a dragon, and blue-purple scales. It seems to be really a prototype. No wonder the green spirit called it the embryo of the Yagi Great Serpent. The horns are dead, you still need a long time to grow, just stay here, wait for the time to come, and you need a powerful chakra to replenish if it is absolutely here. Qingling consumed a large amount of chakra again. He was also extremely happy about this. You have to work hard. The flying section in the cage swelled even more when he heard these words. It was so good to be approved by God. What could be more joyful than having God's approval? It's really exciting to think about. You 3 don't deserve to be locked up here, and when I process you, I'll get out and leave you alone. Qingling said, turned around and left. The embryo of the Yagi Great Serpent will remain here and continue to be conceived. The current pattern is still too weak. But because it comes from the new 10 tails, Chakra, who is born with various attributes, is even more powerful because he continuously obtains chakra from the 10 tails. God, please, tell me how I can get more recognition from you. Fei Duan knelt on the ground, his eyes full of madness. Don't believe the whispers in your ears, that guy is a god, only I am the most evil. Qingling's words undoubtedly strengthened Fei Duan's heart a lot. He completely ignored the whispers of the so-called evil gods in his ears. This also made him even more crazy. I need you to eat and drink well every day, cast curses and attacks on me for at least 8 hours, and for that, when you are tired, let the rest of the village attack. In Qingling's view, the flying segment plus the absolute is 2 perfect sandbags and experimental subjects. And the chakra that is absolutely consumed does not come from him. This will undoubtedly slow down the speed at which chakra is consumed. You must find an opportunity to catch you. Same as the rest of the Qingling ninja village. The Qingling enhances the physique for this, and makes all the white absolutes directly consume the chakra from the Qingling. So many white absolutes, if you consume chakra together, it must be extremely objective. When Qingling's thoughts flew, his back gradually disappeared into the field of vision of the flying segment. A chakra umbilical cord appears, making contact with Fei Duan, King Mu, and Sun Wukong. The orange chakra wrapped them quickly. Hey, what is this? Sun Wukong was shocked. The most different point about this green spirit compared to the 9 lamas is that there are too many things in his head, and it is not something that their group of old guys can guess at all. Don't struggle, in a few moments you will understand what a beautiful thing you have encountered. Shuhei said with a little jealousy. According to its experience, as a tailed beast, it is likely not to obtain an increase in chakra's attributes. But the quantity and quality of chakra will be transformed. Soon, the 2-tailed beasts and the flying section entered the spirit world, and in the spirit world, the 3 guys successfully escaped while the green spirit was not paying attention after going online. Together with hundreds of Iwane village ninjas outside, they killed the blue spirit ninja village. Spiritual. Lao Zi, Han and the others all regained their freedom, and united with the ninja army to destroy the Qingling ninja village. This also caused serious losses to the major ninja villages. In times of crisis, the Xiao organization took the opportunity to strike and harvest all the tailed beasts before they sacrificed the 10 tails. All the human pillars of the tailed beast died without escaping. This moment, the dream woke up. Bang! They were thrown out of the belly of the new 10 tails. The ninjas of Iwahide village also fell from the chakra cocoon. I seem to be getting stronger. Human pillar power and tailed beast are different increments. Han and Old Z were surprised by the powerful chakra in their own bodies, as well as a variety of attributes. Fei Duan went crazy. Great, he really found God. Qingling Ninja Village is the kingdom of God. Listening to the evil god whispering in his ears, Fei Duan refuted it with great disgust. Shut up, I will never worship a god like you. After rejecting the evil god, Fei Duan felt more relaxed. That's nice. Is this what it feels like to follow Lord Qingling? I feel that my whole person is extremely evil. Qingling Shinobi Village. More than 370 new reserve ninjas were added, and the original factory site, Iwane Village. Added 5-tailed, 4-tailed, and human pillar powers. Xiao organization member, flying segment. Looking at this village that seems to come and go freely, it is actually like a cage. Old Z's face was full of sadness. In his opinion, this was not as good as being a cloud monk. He thought to himself that the next days should be difficult. Old Z, you've become stronger. The 4-tailed Son Goku comforted. Yes, but it is difficult to leave this village. Old Z let out a sigh. Just now the 9 tails left me a message, he said, we can leave here at any time. Hearing Sun Wukong's words, Lao Zi only felt unbelievable. When he looked at Han, the latter's eyes were just as shocked as him, and it seemed that King Mu had also told Han the truth. Qingling did not restrict their freedom at all and could leave at any time. But, Lao Zi never hesitated, remembering that the Qingling diagonal shot before, directly obliterated it, and with the help of its ability, gave birth to the embryo of a big snake of Yagi. It's brutal. Can this kind of person really let them leave? Thought about it. Lao Zi still feels that he will stay for the time being, so as not to change everything. You let me go, I won't go. Qingling didn't care if they walked or not. Anyway, after the transformation, their cultivation will consume his chakra. After physical transformation, the consumption speed is faster, which is what Qingling has to do. Union Village. As a ninja village located on a high mountain. People here are exposed to plenty of sunlight and use beef as the main meat, so their bodies are generally stronger. Especially Union Village is good at lay done. The thunder attribute chakra innately has the advantage of merging spiritual energy with physical energy faster. At the same time, it can stimulate the potential of the nerves, making it faster and stronger. Once the thunder attribute chakra covers the whole body, it is not only an increase in speed. Strength, explosiveness, and defense will all be further improved. In this case, after long-term tempering, the body will become stronger and stronger. However, but all these so-called talents are vulnerable to the tailless beast dry persimmon ghost mackerel, and the Uchiha weasel with the strongest illusion. In Yuyan village, the battle has long broken out. In order to protect the village, it was not allowed to be razed to the ground in the Great War. The battle turned to a wide and uninhabited land. At this time, did you win? The dried persimmon ghost mackerel separates from the mackerel muscles, and the body changes back to its normal state. Lifting the fainting Kurabi with one hand. Itachi nodded. The fourth generation of Mei Lei Ying still stood in place. Hurry back, it's dawn. The ferret does not care at all about the continuation of the battle. Mr. Itachi, can both the flying segment and the horn win? The dry persimmon ghost mackerel glanced at the fourth generation of Thunder Shadow who was reading the illusion moon in his body, and did not pay attention to it and interfere at all. As long as the weasel doesn't want to do it, then he won't go to spoil the situation. Can't. Itachi said coldly. Wouldn't that be a backup plan? It's terrible. The dried persimmon ghost mackerel said and stopped. He followed the ferret's gaze. It's beautiful, Mr. Itachi. The sun appears from the east and a glimmer of light appears. Morning is coming. Dawn breaks. Early morning. It's long over. Land of water. Mist-hidden village. The so-called ninja is just an existence hiding behind the daimyo, the world. Because of this, aquatic fog, thunderclouds, earth rocks, wind-blown sand, and fire-burning wood. Their strongest leader calls it shadow, and hiding behind shadow calls it dark. No visible people, no fame. This day, the elder retreated, and he leaned over, and with a kind face, he put on the cloak for Terumi. This kid is worth it. He thought to himself that he could see through the illusion in the body of the fourth generation of Meshui Shadow, and let Ching use his white eyes to crack it. Being in the blood mist age, still has not given up the pursuit of light, it should be a new water shadow. It's just that. This water shadow, who has 2 blood succession limits, is strong, and the only drawback is that she is too yearning for light. Sometimes, there is always a hope in her eyes. The elder thought to himself, everything else is good, but this is not good. As a ninja, especially Mizukage, how can you expect light? If you think about it, it seems that it was established from Konoha village, the birth of Hokage, the Senjuku pillar, and the time when Uchiha dominated that era. The head of the ninjas, named Shadow by them, is actually more and more yearning for light. The elders did not know whether this was right or wrong. He seems to be older, but in fact, he is just a toddler from that era, and what he can experience firsthand is the loneliness of an era. When the light really shines on the ninjas, can they withstand the harsh sunlight? The light of the morning sun shone on the old man's face. The water mist passing through Wuin village is particularly hazy and beautiful. Terumi is in it, turning into a silhouette, which is incomparably beautiful. She smiled, and even her red lips became more attractive. Elder, you cried. Jiao Mei became the 5th generation of water shadows, some people recognized, naturally some people rejected. Experienced the era of blood dance, and the defeat of the ninja sword 7. Their hearts are already cold and piercing. I heard that a few months ago, Momochi was kicked to death by Kai. This ninja Dao 7, after all, did not escape the fate of the 1st generation, and as the 2nd generation, he was still kicked to death by the descendants of the 8-gate Dunja. But before this blood mist cleared, the appearance of Terumi is inevitable. It seems that every shinobi village 5 generations is destined to be a transitional figure. Used to welcome the light. Nothing, the sun is too dazzling. The elder grinned, how nice. He thought to himself, ninjas are such beings, aren't they? When he becomes a manager after the 4th generation of Mizukage leaves, he has to carry everything. When Terumi became the 5th generation of water shadows, he was able to block the light with his back, allowing people like him to hide in the shadows. How nice. But why is that light just a trace so dazzling? He was stunned and walked outside the village. The 3 tails should also be collected, otherwise there should be more people who are moved. The elder said, and the figure became more and more declining, and he hid in the light blocked by Jiao Mei, the shadow created, and gradually drifted away. Good. Terumi also understood that sooner or later they would have to subdue the 3 tails, after all, it was also expensive to obtain. She turned away, and the sun shone on her white jade-like face. The beauty smiled, where is this light dazzling? It's clearly bright. Sunlight. Selflessly sprinkled to every corner of the world. Land of fire. Konoha village. Once again, the leaderless village temporarily made Hinata Hiyashi temporarily the acting Hokage, assisted by 2 other elders from the roots. After all, there are still many great clans in Konoha, and the strength is strong. Kaishin is still young and energetic. The only difference is that since Bofeng Shuaman left on this night, people all obtained the cultivation scrolls of the Chakra Martial Dao. It is clearly written in categories, and an unknown cultivation method is written in great detail. Hinata Hiyashi has also seen it, and his understanding is that if all the Hyuga clan cultivates, with the advantage of being able to see the chakra veins clearly with the help of white eyes, it will definitely make the cultivation speed faster. Become more powerful. At the same time, he also received 2 intelligences, one from the family and one from Kai. When he opened the envelope, the exhaustion of the busy night was swept away, leaving only regret and puzzlement. Does that kid really still hate me? Training ground. Kei just made an announcement. Hinata Ninji, who disappeared last night, should have taken advantage of the chaos to leave, and had already cut off the traces of the line. With his delicate mind, it was enough to make the dark part of the later investigation difficult to find. Xiao Li and Tiantian looked puzzled. Ning Si, was he taken away by the 4th generation Lord Hokage to cultivate? Xiao Li felt that this must be the greatest possibility. Why did Ning Ji leave? Because he never said hate. Saying this every day, born and raised in Konoha village, where can you not know that the families with special blood succession limits and abilities will have their own methods of protection? In fact, if the Hyuga clan does not use some special method to protect it, then it will probably encounter the tragedy of the Uchiha family. It is said that before Naruto defected that day, he fought with Danzo, and he had more than 10 chakra eyes on his arm, which made it cruel to think about it. After thinking about it, Tiantian still felt unacceptable. Ninki, I will find you. She swore secretly. Land of Earth. Iwahide village. This lonely little village. Overnight, hundreds of powerful ninjas were lost, an active pillar force, and a defecting pillar force. The loss is extremely serious. According to the Sand Hidden Village and Konoha Village, the probability is that there will be no return. The 3rd generation of Metokage Onoki has never felt so tired. If you encounter Uchiha spots when you are young, it is a tremor. At that moment, it is a kind of helplessness after stud. As a 2-day scale, with blood succession elimination, dust. He still remembers the day when the 2nd generation Metokage made him comprehend the will of stone. It was also to teach him the only dust that fused with wind, fire and earth. If you can. I really want to pass it on. This is the result of a lifetime of the 2nd generation of Metokage. Onoki coughed dryly, only feeling that his waist hurt more. Hopefully, he can survive until the new generation grows up completely. After all, the batch that was supposed to be cultivated was basically killed by Bofeng Shui Gate and its disciples. Yenian village must hold out until the moment when hope comes and can pass on the peaceful and prosperous world. 8 Flying Sun, you old ghost who died early, you are really good at picking picks. Onoki recalled the 8 Flying Sun Chop who was similar to his upbringing, and he could only smile playfully. Looking at the 5 great ninja villages, he is the only dazzling figure of that generation. In Onoki's opinion, those guys hiding behind the scenes are just waste that even Hikaru does not dare to face squarely. Sand Hidden Village. Chiyo's mother-in-law is too old, and as an agent of the Wind Shadow, it is really difficult to take care of everything. Unlike the disappearance of the 3 generations of Wind Shadows, this time neither Luo Sha nor Iero died. Intelligence said that they were just imprisoned by Qingling Ninja Village. As long as it is rescued, it will be fine, but there are no dragons on the side of Konoha Village, who will discuss such a big matter. She inadvertently opened the latest intelligence. When she thought that nothing would be enough to surprise her calm heart. A few words in the intelligence made her no longer calm. The couple were resurrected by the Forbidden Art and attacked Konoha Village at night. The Sand Hidden Village rebel shinobi Red Sand Scorpion, and the Iwayne Village rebel shinobi Didera, is imprisoned. The 2 people of Yenian Village, Zuli, as well as the 4 Tails and 5 Tails, were all captured. The Xiao organization once again failed to assassinate Qingling Ninja Village. Sho organized an attack on the village of Union, and Konoha renegade Uchiha Itachi took away the 8-tailed man Zuliki Rabbi away. Quote. How? So many words, and so terrifying. Are you a Konoha ninja? The Qingling ninja village from Sand Hidden Village prepared ninjas, and glanced at the white-clothed and dusty boy in surprise. Konoha. The reserve ninjas from Konoha immediately arrived from all directions, excited. I really want to see which old friend it is. I didn't think about it, but when I saw it, I realized that it was Hinata Ninja who was a junior. It is said that this phrase was also promoted to Naka Shinobi, just like them. When you come to Qingling Ninja Village this time, shouldn't you seek your own death? Not far away. The ninjas of Iwayne Village are busy working. Just this morning, Qingling Ninja Village established a 10-tailed section dominated by tailed beasts and human pillars. The current members include Aikyo Shozuru, Aira, Shio Sun Goku, Lao Zi, Gumyu Wang and Han, as well as Qingling, Naruto, Sasuke, Kushina, and Wave Feng Shuaman. Strange to say, they were shocked when they learned that there were so many 9 tails in the world. I thought that tailed beasts were unique. It seems that their common sense is a bit wrong. Other than that, Fei Duan was promoted to be the head of the trial ground of Qingling Ninja Village, and all the white absolutes were managed by him. Whether it is the laboratory, the ninja academy, and the white abstinence required for personal cultivation, they must pass through him. Meanwhile, Fei Duan became the new strongest sandbag, and I heard that no matter how many injuries he suffered, he would be healed by the Qingling. As a result, the Qingling takes double the damage. This made Fei Duan admire the extreme, and also made Qingling feel very gratified. The ninja hospital was also successfully established, temporarily in charge of Tsunade, who said she was reluctant to be nosy, but occasionally gave instructions to medical ninjas. Fortunately, with the help of Jirai, the speed of the two cultivating chakra martial Dao is also like a tiger. Village. The 3 ninja of the ninja village were busy, and only glanced at Hinata Ninja and stopped caring about him. Let it walk around the village. Ning-Si wiped his face and looked at the village. There is still a gap compared to Konoha village. The difference is that it's more alive here. Pastoral gardens, farms, orchards, wooded forests, and a high bridge between the rivers allow fishing boats to float through. There are mills, and farmhouses are everywhere in the suburbs. The streets are neat, the roads are wide and obviously designed in advance. There are many shops, including ninja furniture shops and clothing stores with suits and shoes. The smell wafts from the bakery, and the noodle shop on the corner is equally fascinating. There is nothing here, everything. Ning-Si saw a large tree in the center of the village, which looked like a 9-tailed fox, and it was extremely tall, hugging the sky above the village, sheltering from the wind and rain. Just as a tree has 9 tails and 9 veins. The tree is divided from the trunk and bears 9 common fruits. The big tree seems to grow freely without any climate restrictions. Spring has 9 types of flowers. Summer has 9 kinds of fruits. 9 leaves fall in autumn. Winter is full of snow. He was a little hungry, so he walked into a noodle restaurant and skillfully took out Konoha's 2. The shopkeeper glanced at him and recognized the Konoha brace on his forehead and knew that he had just arrived. This is Qingling Ninja Village, your 2 are useless here, let's say, want to eat something. Oh. Qingling Ninja Village does not charge 2. How do you check out at that moment? Ning-Si thought about it, there were still a lot of ninja tools on him, these were common everywhere and had a certain value. A bowl of soba noodles, a cup of oolong tea, a tempura, a miso soup, and a herring for the noodles. Every sentence was neatly made, and it seemed that he was like a machine. Sit there, sit upright. Ning-Si was also a little uncomfortable in his heart. Since entering the village, everyone has their own things to do. Even the ninjas in Konoha village, some of whom he knew, just asked about the situation in his family. There is no tension, fighting, or dangerous feeling. People here are so strange. There was no killing, no hatred, no vigilance. Ning-Si thought to himself, really naive, where in the world is udon noodles that come for nothing, everything has to be paid. Do you really think that if you move things and inspect them, you can live on all kinds of fields? Ninjas, there is no such possibility. But, at the same time, he has some yearning for this kind of life, and it would be nice if he could live like this, but he needed his father to be alive, otherwise the same person would always seem lonely. Soon, herring soba noodles were served, and 3 fried tempuras were placed on a rectangular porcelain dish, and oolong tea was served in the same cup. Ning-Si vigilantly checked whether there was poison. Even the tableware and the environment were checked before eating the noodles. It tastes great. The noodles soon reached the stomach, and I suddenly felt that the whole person was a lot more comfortable. However, the more times like this, the more vigilant he becomes. The boss scrubbed the sweat from his hands and forehead before coming to Ning Si. Does it deserve a 5-star review? 5-star reviews. Ning Si was confused. You don't know when you first arrive. Our results are related to evaluation. You can evaluate from 5 aspects: ingredients, taste, hygiene, service, and environment. 5-star praise is the highest standard set by Lord Lingying, and 3 stars can pass. Quote. 5-star reviews. Ning Si didn't understand these strange rules of Qingling Ninja Village. He just wanted to settle the bill with a ninja tool and leave. Thank you for your understanding, and please come back next time. The boss happily saluted him and walked back to the kitchen. Well, leaving Hinata Ninja alone in disarray. What's going on? Don't charge money. Is this a free meal? I have Kumu and Shuriken. I can temporarily mortgage, and when I complete the bounty task issued here, I will pay you money to redeem my ninja tools. Ning Si seriously walked towards the humble boss. This. The boss scratched his head in embarrassment. Only then did he know that Ning Si didn't know anything, just a survivor from another village. Also, before coming to Qingling Ninja Village, getting a job, and practicing chakra martial Dao, he was just an ordinary person who had not been exposed to truly systematic ninjutsu. You know, ninjas have to carry out missions to obtain the possibility of survival from life and death. Think about it. The young man in front of him who always rolls his eyes is really pitiful. In Qingling Ninja Village, there is no need to pay, each of us has to work. I am the boss and the employee, everyone is the same. There is a ninja hospital when you are sick, the child is going to the ninja academy, and when you are old, you can go to the Qingling nursing home. I usually have to work separately, but I am not very tired, 6 hours a day, weekends, and various festivals. So, we don't have to, you can eat whatever you want, you can wear anything, nothing particularly good and nothing particularly bad. The same clothes, materials, you can dress with your own character that is yours. My wife is learning to make ceramics and my 2 children are still learning. At your age, you probably graduated from the elementary school a long time ago, and I don't know if the elite department wants to become a preparatory ninja, but they have to work harder, working 7 hours a day. Raikage-sama said that if you want to be a ninja, you must work hard and become enlightened. I don't want my children to become ninjas and just do what they like, but they adore Raikage-sama and say that they will grow fox tails in the future. Oops, sorry, I nagged as soon as I said it. The boss touched the back of his head in embarrassment, looking overwhelmed. Only the teenager in front of him looked stunned. Hinata Ninja swallowed a mouthful of spit. The meridians at the corners of his eyes erupted, opening his white eyes, trying to see through his uncle's chakra. I only saw a kind of chakra that I had never seen before, and the amount of chakra was also very terrifying. He turned around, and the clerks and pedestrians on the road did the same. This is impossible, this must be an illusion, this is the legendary Qingling illusion. The teenager's cognition is broken. He couldn't believe that there was such a peach blossom source in the world. Ninja left the noodle shop and walked down the street, the ninja running to see everyone's chakra. It turned out to be extremely powerful and weird. Magic. This is absolutely magic. How could the world be so beautiful? He didn't believe it. High up, Jiraiya clasped his arms in his hands, and the wind ruffled his long hair, causing Tsunade, who was sitting on the bell tower shaking his legs, to look at him. You've been a lot younger since you cultivated the chakra martial Dao, aren't you? Well, it's about to break through, and there are many people in this village who will be promoted to martial Dao lower shinobi, and I'm also curious about the more advanced martial arts method. Jiraiya also saw Hinata Ninja running around the village. Apparently, the blow in this child's heart was far beyond ordinary people, and it had reached the point where it could not bear it. When you first arrive, you will go through this level, right? It's like these ninjas of Iwahide village, who have begun to doubt life. Lai also said to himself. Before your last mission, you still hadn't finished half of your words. Tsunade lifted the wine jug and took a sip, his cheeks flushed slightly. What a half sentence, I forgot. Jiraiya turned around and left, but was held by Tsunade's shoulder with one hand, unable to move. This is the bell tower. Then changed places. Qingling Ninja Village is no longer what it used to be. Although it is not as magnificent as those powerful ninja villages, it is far beyond the scale of some small ninja villages. There are not only bell towers, but also towers for observation and defense. The roads are wide and there are quite a few 5-story row buildings. The village is getting richer. This also seems to be Ningqi's abruptness. He didn't believe that this eclectic village could be real. The boy sped through the streets, his brain working, looking for flaws in the illusion. It was rumored in the outside world that the Qingling nine-tailed illusion technique reached the sky, but he believed that no one's illusion was perfect, and there must be flaws. What's more, he has white eyes and is more likely to crack. This is from the eyes of Kagaya Itsuki, how can he easily succumb to power? It's not good to be in a hurry. When the sound of the wave-wind water gate appeared, his forward pace was also quickly blocked. Just when the soft punches punched as a counterattack. The wave feng shui gate had already appeared behind him, jumping repeatedly and horizontally, and he couldn't find his true whereabouts at all. You are the 4th generation of Hokage wave feng shuiman, can people really come back from the dead? Hinata Ninja asked warily. Of course, I'm right here, isn't it? Maybe I fell for illusion, maybe you fell for illusion. What are your boundaries for the real, the unreal? The wave feng shui gate appeared on the side of Ningqi, and his steps were steady. He had just returned to the village, and he didn't even know that he had become a member of the Tailed Beast and Human Pillar Force Department of Qingling Ninja Village. What is in illusion is false, and what is outside illusion is true. Ningxi voiced his opinion. Perhaps, even this world is just a creation of a god, or maybe this world existed long before the creation of the 6 Tao Immortals. There is no need for boundaries between real and unreal, what matters is which one you prefer. Watergate looked at the teenager in front of him. The latter was stunned for a moment and looked at Zhu Xinai, who was waiting not far away. What about Spirit Shadow? That 9-tailed fox, whether this is an illusion or not, he should at least show up, I want to know something. Ningxi's words did not fall. A humanoid monster wearing a green robe and emitting orange light appeared in front of him. I'm Qingling, little friend Ningqi, are you sick in the second place? Ningxi heard strange words again. Qingling Ninja Village is strange everywhere, diametrically opposed to the world he used to come into contact with. If this is magic, bring me back to reality. I came to seek strength. Ningxi kept looking for the flaws in this green spirit in front of him. He believed that even if it was an illusion, it would require the caster to expend chakra and energy, and he would definitely be able to find flaws while he was unprepared. Silly child, this is not an illusion, if you really experience the illusion, then let you see. Qingling's big hand pressed on Ningxi's head. Take it away randomly, as if nothing happened. Ningxi glanced at Qingling, but the latter laughed and said that this was indeed an illusion. And I appreciate his desperate belief to train him to be a strong man. Soon, he also gained the power of the 9 tails, breaking through himself and becoming stronger and stronger, and his physique was unmatched. There is also a method of cultivation in the Qingling Ninja Village that sacrifices oneself to gain strength. Until one day, a big war broke out in the ninja world, and he fought everywhere to pacify the ninja world and became a strong man like Uchiha back then. Create a brand new ninja village and bring the major ninja villages to their knees. With the power beyond the world, he removed the caged bird spell mark and was also freed, becoming the head of the Hyuga clan. He sat on the throne and looked into the awe-inspiring eyes of the world, but he did not feel the slightest joy. Soon after, more and more of the Hyuga clan began to be assassinated, taking away the white eyes. He also gradually ages, and the 9 tails begin to contradict him. After Ning was old, let many people protect themselves, and no longer wanted to care about the life and death of the clansmen. He didn't want to admit that he had destroyed the caged bird spell and caused them to be assassinated. He didn't want to see the Hyuga clan collapse like the Uchiha clan. Finally. Checkmate time. The dazed Ningxi realized a little. If you want to truly save the doom of the Hyuga family and stop the world from being afraid of white eyes, there is only one way, destroy everyone. This night, the white-haired Hinata Ninja, the strongest in the ninja world, became the public enemy of the ninja world overnight. He started a ninja war, slaughtering 100,000 ninjas alone, until the Nine Tails took the opportunity to escape, and he died of exhaustion. At the end of the day, has nothing changed? Am I wrong? Father. When the cloudy eyes were closed, the figure of his father appeared in front of him, coming from the pure land of bliss to embrace Ninji. In that way, it is exactly the same as the young face I saw in childhood. Father, the child fails, and the child grows old. While Ning Si's soul embraced his father, his body's arms hung down heavily. The spell mark on his forehead gradually dissipated. Swish. He opened his eyes and looked around, still the street from years ago. The first time I met Qingling, I met Qingling Shinobu village. It seems to be back. Is it a horse watching the flowers? Ning Si was a little unsure. But he saw Qingling raise the fox face hidden under the robe. Welcome back, the real world. With his hands on his shoulders, the boy only felt a sense of solidity. Everything just now, those decades were illusions. But how many spellcaster chakras need to be consumed in the long years? Hinata Ninji only felt that he needed it when he was wondering. His chakra is exhausted. What? Is there still an illusion that consumes the spellcaster chakra? This is also outrageous. Be happy, I poured you a little chakra so that you don't die early. Qingling comforted him and said. What? Ning Si looked anxiously at the body, and there was really an extra nine-tailed chakra seed. Chakra's attributes have increased, and even his body has undergone a metamorphosis. It feels like the people in the village. It turns out that this is the truth. He stood there with a stunned expression, at a loss for a moment. Live well, chakra martial arts should be of great benefit to you. Qingling shook his hand and said goodbye to Ning Si. Where are you going? Go and create a world where your father and you can live in the sun, so that the eyes of the Uchiha clan, the Hinata clan, don't become underground goods. It will no longer let the whirlpool, the bloodline descendants of the Senju family, become guinea pigs in the laboratory, the exchange of marriage. I will make you understand that even a caged bird can break through the cage. As long as you want, the mountains and the sea are wide, all are free. Quote. Caged bird. Ninji stood there incredulously. He thought to himself, this spirit shadow actually knew the truth about the caged bird of the Hyuga clan. Wait a minute. Why do you call him a spirit shadow in your heart? He quickly touched his forehead, and in his perception, the mark was gone. How is this possible? Unless you live and die, it is impossible to eliminate the caged bird spell mark. How long have you been? Haven't seen a miracle. Quote. On the street, three teenagers with very different personalities appeared. Naruto held out a hand and squinted and smiled. Miracle. Ninji saw the silent Sasuke next to him, and the indifferent Iluo. Why did such a person gather around Naruto? And what is the reason for making Qingling a fox they admire? Of course, Qingling Ninja Village is the place where miracles are created. Naruto grinned, warm as the sun. Where miracles are created. This is really naive. Ning Si wanted to say that it was too ridiculous, but when he thought of the caged bird mark on his forehead disappearing, he couldn't help but stretch out his palm. Syllable. The teenager gave a high five. As if snapping the blood of youth. Why did my spell mark disappear? This is a mark engraved in the physical and spiritual energy, even if I die. Ning Si lowered his head, he was still puzzled, and even suspected that he was still in the illusion for a while. Bo Feng Shuaman touched his head. He should have let you transform at the same time, but also changed your body and mental energy, which means that he will use this to resist everything for you, which is probably equivalent to you dying once. Equivalent to dying once. How many chakras are needed for this, and then perform forbidden spells, to erase the caged bird mark from the dual energy of spirit and body? Ning Si couldn't believe it. Qingling. No, spirit shadow. He was moved, tears wet his eyes, and he almost burst into tears. Why did you do such a dangerous thing, but only leave a handsome back? Don't go to him. Lingying seems to be doing something very important, consuming chakra rapidly all the time. Zhu Xinai also encouraged Ningqi. This actually made the teenager feel even more sad in his heart. Chakra is consumed all the time, and it is also necessary to help him transform his body and eliminate the imprint with a large amount of chakra and forbidden techniques. A village like a heavenly kingdom in a dream has been infused with how much effort he has. Spirit shadow. He clenched his fists and clenched his teeth. Ninki swears. Let the fox's back no longer blur his vision. He will continue to work hard until he can chase the figure of Qingling and fight alongside him. The boy choked, but after all, he didn't let a tear fall. He was stubborn and became a reserve ninja. He heard that if the village wants to become a shinobi, it must become a martial arts shinobi, which is a difficult path. However, recently, there are many people who are superb in cultivation and have the possibility of promotion. 3 days later, one big news after another shocked the ninja world at the same time. Qingling Ninja Village, like no one, welcomed a grand ceremony. As a member of the reserve ninja, Ninji relied on the talent of a physical genius. In the past few days of contact with Chakra Martial Dao, he has improved a lot, but compared to today's protagonists, he is still worse. On the playground of the Ninja Academy. Standing full of onlookers, Qingling's doppelganger even sold melon seeds. Ninji stood among the group of preparatory ninjas and watched the grand ceremony. They have Konoha, Sandhide, and Iwahi, and they don't distinguish each other at the moment, but their living habits are a little different. For this reason, there are many restaurants and shops of different styles in the village, and people can experience the customs of the country of wind, fire, and earth in the village of Seirei. Hey, you guys came early, is this martial arts ninja really that strong? After all, the people of Yenian village have only been here for less than a week, and they have not long been in contact with Chakra Martial Dao. They were all curious to ask Konoha, and Sand came. What's more, I heard that when Naruto and Sasuke broke through, he directly opened up the Chakra Dantian, and his strength was multiplied by several times, and his physique and spiritual power were transformed. Yes, you know that big snake pill in the laboratory, Sanshin. He said that if he is promoted to shinobi, he is likely to live at least 100 years. Really fake, 100 years old, none of the Tsuchikage-sama in our village is 100 years old. Cut. The soil buns of Yenian village, what about Lord Toying, eat inside and outside, is Lord Linkage bad for you? Hearing Konoha, Suna's rebuttal. The reserve ninja of Iwahide village bowed his head embarrassedly. Good is good, but I'm here alone, if the family can come, or let Iwane village, the country of earth also become the same as Qingling Shinobi village, it will be good. Don't you want your family? Everyone picked their nails sadly, which eased the atmosphere. Hearsay. One of Konoha's Naka shinobi fluttered happily. Cut. In 2 months, I will definitely be able to be promoted to martial arts lower ninja, and when Lord Lingying agrees to a request, I will bring my family over. What? If you are promoted to shinobi, can you still bring your family over? That's great, too. Quote. The ninjas of Iwahide village obviously don't know about this yet, after all, it was late. Ningxi in the corner listened quietly to these words. I thought how good it would be if his family were still there. Estimate. There are also only 2 cousins, Hinata and Hinata Spark. As for Hinata, he was not ready to forgive and could not accept his father's death. Of course, stupid, stop arguing, the promotion is about to begin. Someone shouted loudly, and everyone held their breath and looked at the much anticipated presence on the playground. Soon they started cheering. Look, it's Jiraiya, one of the 3 shinobi. That's the copy ninja Kakashi, all from our Konoha village. What Konoha village? Our Luo Shah of Cheyenne village. I love Lord Luo but a father and son soldier. Didn't you two just say that you can't mention the village? The ninjas of Iwane village who were frightened before were stunned. You know what, sooner or later we will take the ninja world into our pockets, and our families will live this kind of good life. Konoha village is our village, and Qingling Ninja village is the village of the village. The land of spirits is the land of fire. That is, the pattern of soil buns from Yenian village is really small. After being frightened, the ninjas of Iwahide village completely shut up. One after another, resentful eyes fell on the center of the playground. Ningxi was also full of curiosity. This chakra martial arts is indeed mysterious, but the martial arts have not yet come into contact. After all, no matter how strong the shadow is, as long as you don't pay attention to it, you may also be killed by a sneak attack by shinobi. Only chakra martial arts seems to be able to fundamentally improve personal strength. Ninja Academy. A powerful person who has attracted much attention has gathered here. Orochimaru, Iero, Rasa, Kakashi, and Jiraiya are also lined up. Across from them was Naruto, Sasuke, who identified the green spirit. Begin. Naruto said seriously. Jushina was pleased to see Naruto like this, and tugged on the arm of the feng shui gate. The stronger chakra is with himself, the more difficult it is to break through, but there should be no danger to life under martial arts. Bofeng Shuiman said with a serious analysis. I'm not saying this. Ju Shinai lit up his small fist. Naruto, our son, of course we should be proud. Bofeng Shuiman quipped. Meanwhile, the 5 powerful auras also erupted in an instant. Promotion begins. In the corner, Scorpion and Obito stand beside Deidara. Deidara, who was tied up, looked unhappy. Let go of me, I'm an artist, hey. I also have a chakra martial arts practitioner in a different space. Ah Fei, believe it or not, I blew myself up. Deidara was noisy. It didn't hide Orochimaru's wild laughter in the slightest. This is the first step in my eternal life. At the same time that the big snake pill underwent a huge change in his body, the body surface began to shed the snake's skin, and soon he also began to expel impurities from his body. Naruto and Sasuke quickly froze. This time, they were prepared. As impurities precipitate from the skin, the odor also begins to spread towards the air. Water escape water chaos technique. The two performed this trick at the same time and helped everyone who had just broken through to take a shower. Dirt removal. One by one. The most obvious is Jiraiya, whose face is as young as he is about 30 years old. It's just a skin unfolded. Feeling the wonderful changes in himself, Rao was surprised by his determination. The martial arts volume was obtained by him early. And the Qingling Immortal Technique Chi Na chapter is behind. Zilai originally thought that he had the advantage of immortal arts, but after studying it, he found that Qingling's immortal arts had no side effects. At most, let the creatures have chakra foxtail when chakra covers the whole body. It can be said that there are no side effects other than increased benefits. Compared with the immortal art that is very difficult to learn in Miaomu Mountain, the Qingling immortal art is undoubtedly the best choice for beginners. In particular, he and Bofeng Shuiman discovered a little. Naruto has developed more and more fairy functions just by relying on the Naki chapter. Sensing hostility, the increase in physical skills of the immortal mode were gradually mastered by him. An absolute genius as it can be said. After the 5 people broke through, they were most happy than the big snake pill. He felt the elimination of his own hidden dangers. I couldn't help but get excited and tremble. I survived, I don't need to be reborn in dirt, nor do I need a new host, a petri dish, and I have obtained 100 years of life. The big snake pill couldn't believe that everything that Qingling had told him was gradually realizing, and one by one it was unfolding in front of him like a horse watching flowers. The road ahead seems to be clearly visible. He took out a small book and quickly memorized it. Martial arts can be more easily perceived by forbearance, even if you do not practice illusion, you can strengthen your spiritual power, and if you can learn immortal arts and chi, you will definitely be able to achieve twice the result with half the effort. At the same time, the demand for chakra under martial arts is also greater, and each step of cultivation consumes a huge amount of chakra, which is also the necessity of chakra dantian. The crowd cheered. Bofeng Shuiman was calmly analyzing. He has a certain understanding of the martial arts in chakra martial arts in the past few days. Now seeing the promotion of martial arts shinobi, I have benefited a lot. Can't help but mumble. It is crucial that the martial arts shinobi will open the chakra dantian. Because normal chakra is spiritual, the two energies of the body are fused and then given attributes before use. The appearance of chakra dantian means that chakra will be formed and stored in the body in advance. These chakras will also constantly temper the body, the mind. I speculate that in the next cultivation, with the help of the Naki chapter, you can constantly break through the boundary between the body and nature, and it is easier to absorb natural energy and cultivate immortal arts. Lingying directly divided his energy into 2 parts. A part is given directly to us, used to convert, consume. The other part turns into natural energy, constantly emanating from the tree, which is easy for us to absorb, and he consumes himself too much by doing so. When Ju Shinai heard Bo Fengshauman's analysis, he also lowered his head with some concern. Oh, yes. If Qingling did this, wouldn't he put himself in danger? I'm really worried, one day Qingling suddenly can't hold on. In the crowd, there are also eyes and figures whispering. Renju Lihan and Lao Zi stood on the roof, holding their arms in their hands. Old Z, how heavy are you? The third stage has completed the first metamorphosis. Old Ziyang is self-satisfied. This Qingling ninja village is not bad, that spirit shadow he doesn't like, but this chakra martial arts is really good. Especially as a human pillar force, you can also use the chakra of the tailed beast, which is more convenient for cultivation. 3 days can cultivate to the third level of apprenticeship, which shows the importance of accumulation. I'm the fourth. Henkel raised his head, and he found that chakra could accumulate and explode like steam in cultivation. With this advantage of boiling, he advanced by leaps and bounds in the apprentice realm of quenching. You've been doing this for half a day, right? Old Z glanced at him coldly, and directly left here with an instantaneous technique. Old Z, let's go cultivate. How can you lose to the five-tailed man pillar force? Doesn't that mean that his son Wukong is no match for King Mu? People must not sit back and think that the more tails, the stronger the idea. With chakra martial Dao, even the tailed beast can become stronger. Alas, this four-tailed Asuna. Han raised his head proudly. This sentence was also learned by him in the Qingling ninja village, and once when eating noodles, he heard a ninja from Konoha village say it. I heard that Raikage once ate 10 more bowls than Naruto in the Ramen Cup Championship, giving the loser a rating. King Mu didn't speak, he didn't like to argue, but his heart was indeed a little cool. Boiling is the strongest. The ceremony, which was about to end, did not wait for the Qingling to appear. The Qingling doppelganger who sold melon seeds looked innocent, and it was obvious that it was not yet the moment for him to appear. Will Lord Raikage grant one of our requests? Orochimaru had already thought of the request. He wanted to bring someone. That guy should still be a good Konoha shinobu. He arranged an undercover agent that had long been useless. Pouch. Although he wanted to directly obtain a finished martial arts elixir. However, finding a good assistant is what is most needed right now. He didn't stay in Qingling Ninja Village for a long time and became human. That is not his big snake pill, only by using this tool person to the extreme, is the real big snake pill. However, just when everyone was confused about the reason why Qingling did not appear. Naruto, Sasuke ripped off his robe. The breath keeps skyrocketing. Climbing every day. Guys, there are a total of 9 layers of martial arts forbearance, and it is necessary to let the chakra dantian be tempered on this, constantly increasing, constantly condensing, and only reaching the limit. Spirit and body have reached the extreme, in order to get the opportunity to break through. Naruto's eyes were burning, he wasn't just here to be a judge today. More important is the breakthrough. To the order of the family master, I specially come to break through the martial arts middle forbearance. Sasuke didn't say much, this terrifying momentum was too scary. With the help of the Naki chapter, the two of them continue to absorb natural energy. Fuse with itself into the fairy chakra, absorb, contain as a breakthrough. Break. Naruto froze, his eyes shining. Purple lightning was constantly dancing on Sasuke's body. People seemed to hear the sound of gurgling water. As time passed, condensing Naruto, the chakra beside Sasuke was no longer angry. It's liquid. They directly converted the fairy chakra on the body surface and condensed it into liquid. Now, inside the body of the two, chakra broke through to the extreme, transformed from the form of chi, and landed on chakra dantian like a liquid. This also means that chakra is more condensed and has undergone a qualitative change. Naruto, Sasuke's eyes were all at this moment, blooming with a faint light, not pupil art, but the aura formed by the spiritual power is strong enough. Phew. Sasuke let out a breath, his breath continued to converge, and their sons also further transformed, from teenagers to youth state. Chakra will transform from chi to a stronger liquid, a real qualitative change will occur, and the spiritual power will be so strong that it is restrained and still shines. This is chakra martial arts shinobi, a walking tailless tailed beast. Orochimaru quickly jobbled everything down on the paper. Everyone held their breath. I can't believe that chakra martial Dao has been promoted step by step to such a significant improvement. The spectators swallowed their spit. Ninji rolled his eyes, feeling the majesty that Naruto and Sasuke emanating silently, and only felt the blood surging. Marvel. As Naruto said, Sirin Ninja Village is a place of miracles. Under martial arts, forbearance, open up chakra dantian. Storing chakra in the body in advance, which is more similar to the 100 hero technique, but it is a further improved version, and lacks the combat skills of the 100 hero art and the slug. Martial arts forbearance caused chakra, which was dominated by chi, to be promoted to liquid, and at the same time that the qualitative change occurred, the amount of storage was further increased. The physical and mental powers have also been transformed, reaching a point beyond the reach of ordinary people, enough to be immune to ordinary physical attacks and illusions. This feeling of daring to look at everything is the martial will that teacher Qingling said. Naruto rubbed it carefully. Impossible. The true will of martial arts means that you can make the enemy kneel with a single thought, and you can make the enemy lose the will to resist without illusion. Sasuke analyzed, but as soon as they closed their eyes, they could perceive the entire village. It's a lot more amazing indeed. Everyone didn't know that such a strange change would occur in martial arts shinobi, but they couldn't experience it firsthand. I could only stare at them one by one. What kind of power is this? That little devil who has the same bloodline as you is really abominable. I can't wait to blow up this place now. Deidara was trapped, and he was also curious about the chakra martial Dao in his heart, and he was transformed by the body of the Qingling in the Shenwei space, and also practiced the chakra martial Dao. However, in his eyes, the real art has to be Qingling's sculpture. Now, Qingling, who was selling melon seeds, ignored everyone's gaze and continued to push the cart. A small sculpture of 9 tails on the railing of the academy was covered with a layer of chakra, and it immediately jumped. Immediately afterwards, each tail came to life, transforming into a small 9-tailed fox in a green robe. Sasuke, do you remember the mission? Xiao Qingling jumped onto Naruto's palm and asked happily. Of course, teacher Qingling, the task you have given is to let the Ministry of Science research out real martial arts ninja tools and elixirs. Sasuke knew this was extremely important. If they don't finish it in one day, it means that they can't get the cultivation scroll of the martial arts ninja. So far, I don't know if the next cultivation is the same as before. Well, this is just one of them. Remember the course on the cultivation scroll. Zhao Qingling taught. Let chakra turn from chi into liquid, understand the foundation and importance of yin-yang escape technique, and know and master the principles of martial arts. Sasuke was equally answering. He was right, but whether he could do it was another matter. The former is the accumulation of resources and cultivation, which requires talent and effort. But what about your yin and yang escape techniques, as well as martial arts? If the will of martial arts is based on physical energy and spiritual energy, yin and yang escape is the method. Then martial arts is a combination of physical skills and ninjutsu, and while chakra gives an increase in physical condition, it is necessary to perform the most explosive moves. You must have strong enough mental power and strong enough physical strength to withstand the pressure and release moves in an instant. Throughout the Green Spirit Shinobi Village, only Naruto can do this, and he is not good at yin and yang escape arts. Sasuke, a bird who has been in a cage for a long time, will eventually lose the courage to wave its wings. Xiao Qingling immediately looked at the beautiful scorpion alone in the corner, and the big snake pill who was absorbing knowledge. A look of hatred that iron is not steel. I'm a doppelganger who will tie up your assistant soon. It can be regarded as a prepayment of your reward. You and the scorpion work hard, and the martial arts ninja is bound to be obtained. Xiao Zaraya and Tsunade, Danyaku asked you 3 shinobi to join forces. In terms of martial arts, you need Wave Feng Shuiman, Kakashi, and Obito. Deidara, you boy will come to the underground chamber in a moment. I have something to find you. Quote. Qingling didn't give any rewards, as well as scrolls. He would never give anything at will until these tasks are completed. Sasuke, Orochimaru also has his own dignity. Naruto scratched the back of his head blandly, not telling whether he was praising him or not. The big snake pill thought thoughtfully, and directly cast the shadow doppelganger. One cooperates with Scorpion, and the other goes to Jiraiya, Tsunade. Obito fidgeted and flashed around. He also didn't expect that he would be sold by Qingling, and he has been avoiding the Wave Feng Shuiman couple these days. Sasuke thought thoughtfully. His martial arts skills were on par with Naruto, but he lacked the opportunity to use them. He understood the martial will very deeply, but how to cultivate it, he was completely confused. There are many things in Qingling Ninja Village that need to be sorted out. This is also the reason why Qingling is divided into categories, and he also threw out many scrolls and wrote some of his own things for this. As for Didera, it is indeed freedom. Soon it seemed that it was not standing or walking. How does it feel like you're going to lecture? The banquet tonight will be as usual, and we will start work tomorrow. Xiao Qingling wagged his tail and was just about to leave. Turning back, he added. Many of you here are full of evil. If all of you are forced to say that you are bullied and fight back, then I have nothing to say. You protect yourself and protect others. But if you hurt the innocent for your own experiments, then think about it. Qingling Shinobi Village will make you live again, but I never forgive anyone. Because it wasn't me who you hurt, I don't have the qualifications. If you have to delude yourself into interpreting yourself, my advice is, get out. Qingling's words were the big snake pill, Obito and others. They didn't seem to have any changes on their faces. For the first time in his heart, he knew Qingling's attitude. Do not forgive anyone, and do not favor anyone. Wrong is wrong, right is right. He is not human. He is a fox. He treats everyone equally, cruelly and sensibly. If I have to say it, it is that, heaven is unkind and treats all things as a dog. In fact, it's just that Qingling is too lazy to care. It's not how high his state of mind is. He dropped this sentence in order to bring the soil to his senses and work hard. As a boss, he is too lazy to care. It is better to let them figure it out on their own. What a monster. There is a fierce and ruthless beast hidden in his heart, but this should be the mentality that the fox who pursues immortality has. The big snake pill did experiments before, did not do less bad things, and he was never forgiven by Qingling. At the moment, researching martial arts ninja tools and elixirs is what he wants. How can there be bugs? Orochimaru hates bugs, and his thoughts are quickly broken by several mosquitoes, running between Tsunade and Jiraiya. Obito stood in place at a loss. He was seduced, wasn't he? Spotted, black. But those things were indeed done by himself. The wave feng shui gate in front of him, Jushinai once died in his hands, and the innocent people in Konoha Shinobi Village. And Naruto's tragedy for more than a decade. He thought about it, and his heart beat normally. Walked to the wave feng shui gate and stretched out his hand. Hello, I'm Ah Fei. We used to have some grudges. I hope to end the work after completion. Simple. Just let the battle end everything. Provided that the work is done. Ah Fei. Then Uchiha Obito should have no grudge with me. Quote. Bofeng Shuiman's hand is not forceful, very light, but gives people a very solid sense of security. Sensei, shall we and Kakashi go to Mist Hidden Village first to avenge Rin? Obito said the sentence he wanted to say the most. Then after the martial arts research is over, come to an end. Bofeng Shuiman did not hesitate. The enemy Ah Fei is a partner and an enemy. First cooperate to complete martial arts research. Uchiha Obito is a disciple. Go with him and Kakashi to the village of Mist to find justice for his disciple Rin. When the disciple brings everything to the end, he will slash the enemy Ah Fei. This side is in a time of saber rattling. Qingling Shinobi Village. Underground chamber. Didera stood awkwardly in the corner. Xiao Qingling stared at him seriously. Xiao Di, tell me, why is it wrong this time? Because I'm not artistic enough. Well, quote. The party in Qingling Ninja Village has not yet begun. The shadows of the 5 ninja villages, the acting shadows have long gathered in the country of iron. Discussing how to get rid of the pain in my heart. Land of iron. As a samurai land, people are in awe of their ancestors and promised many years ago that they would not use force against this place. Therefore, they are neutral most of the time. Naturally, Mifune also greeted everyone as the host of this meeting. In the house, the 4th generation of Raikage, the 3rd generation of Tokage Onoki, the agent Hokage Hinata, the agent Kazekage Chiyo, and the 5th generation Mei Mizukage Terumi. Now, their biggest curiosity is why there is Kurabi among the 2 assistants behind Thunder Shadow. Hasn't he already been captured? Not long ago. The 8-tailed man of Yuyin Village was defeated by the Konoha rebel Uchiha Itachi of the Yuyin Village and took him away, and his whereabouts are unknown. How did he stand alive in front of everyone in a blink of an eye? Even another guard was actually the 2-tailed man Zhu Li. Seeing this scene, Chio couldn't help but mutter. Yuyin village is how, the worst are our way, bullying is Cheyenne village. I heard that a battle broke out in your Wuyin village a few days ago and captured the three tails again. How about it, did the new person Zhu Li choose? Tsuchikage Onoki was the first to ask. However, what he asked was not about Yuyin village. This made Terumi stunned for a moment. It seems that the old feud between Yenian village and Union village is not something that can be ended if it is over. HMPH, the fourth generation of Lei Ying hugged his arms, and did not bother to calculate at all. As far as Iwane village, the poor backcountry of the land of earth, is a little better than Cheyenne village, what is there to be proud of? Three tails. Terumi said without fear. Well, everyone should also know the current strength of our Wuyin village. It took a while of preparation to take down the three tails, and as for the human pillar power, I'm afraid it is still a difficult problem. Everyone knows about that in Wuyin village. Just after the Karabi incident in Union village, Wuyin village quickly began to act. Zhao Mei said that her strength was weak, but in fact, she had 2 blood succession limits. She also has Sei and Chojuro under her to try to reorganize the Ninja Knife 7. Therefore, although the three tails are strong, they are still taken down by the mist hidden village and temporarily sealed. After all, the Wuyin village back then could arrange the three tails in Rin's body. It seems that it doesn't matter that Mio lets him act, but once he acts, he has the ability to subdue that is not inferior to any ninja village. Now, the strength was also hit hard by Konoha village. It is said that the three ninjas, including the renegade Orochimaru, the agent Naruto Tsunade, and Jiraiya were all detained in the ailing shinobi village along with Kakashi. 3 days ago, there was even nonsense about the resurrection of Golden Flashes. It is said that there is also a genius boy missing from the Hyuga clan, and all signs indicate it. Hinata's role as an acting Hokage here is just a bluff. Konoha is no better than before, it has long been a piece of torn paper, and it is not enough to be feared. Hinata Hiyashi didn't make a sound. On the contrary, Kai, who has his arms in his hands, has been grinning, his big white teeth have been flashing, and Asma the ape is relatively serious. It was extremely difficult for the 5 shinobi villages to get together. Finally, the original first generation temporarily ended the war, but I did not expect that after their deaths, the war became more and more frequent. How brilliant Konoha village was back then, that stood between heaven and earth had all the courage, staring at the world. Since the ape flew to the sun, it has been worse day by day. On the other hand, Tokage Onoki is the biggest winner, and the lowest behind him, as well as the future leg Shadow Kuretsuchi, are standing respectfully. This also means that the strong man of their ninja village is inherited, and there are 2 generations after him. Let's talk about it, otherwise our heads may move at any time. Chio's mother-in-law didn't want to waste time by intrigue anymore. Asked directly to the 4th generation of Mei Lei Ying, why is Karabi still alive, and do you have a deal with Xiao? The 4th generation of Mei Lei Ying did not answer. It's a secret. Old woman, you will never get the answer you want, hey. Karabi gestured quickly, and Chio's mother-in-law looked at him like a fool. It is really worthy of the 8-tailed human pillar force, and you can escape in such a situation. Unlike their village, they are all folded in Qingling Ninja Village. The content of this meeting is to join forces, obviously. Whether it was Qingling Ninja Village or the Xiao organization, their purpose seemed to be tailed beasts. Karabi's way of surviving could be shared with him. Chio's mother-in-law's words did not fall, and Karabi directly made a spit motion. Cut, old woman, wishful thinking, this is the meaning of yaoi, you can't imitate. The 2 Yugito looked dazed. What can she do about Chirabi? After all, her cultivation methods were all learned from Chirabi, and she was considered half a disapprentice. Then, Qingling Shinobu village has already taken the 4 tails and 5 tails of Iwane village, the 1 tail of Sand Hidden village, and the 9 tails of Konoha village. At present, only the 3 tails of Wuyin village, the 2 tails and 8 tails of Union village are left without the power of no pillars. Rokuo has long since defected from the village of Mist. What about Nanao's? Quote. Chio's mother-in-law has long selectively ignored Karabi. There is never a normal answer. Me. Kaide from Taki Hidden village walked in through the door cautiously. She seems to be harmless to humans and animals, but she is actually extremely fast, has air superiority, and is excellent at confusing opponents and killing instantly. Not to mention the huge chakra of the seven tails. When he saw that the seven-tailed man Zuli was a cute little girl, no one took it lightly. Only, there are no extra seats here. She could only stand. Then, we also have at least 4-tailed beasts under control here, and only the 6 tails who defected from the mist-hidden village remain. Lei Ying's words ignited the last topic. That is, how can this be the key person who determines the victory or defeat of the two sides? Mist-hidden village made a move, people chased and killed their own rebels, and Naneo, that was a reasonable thing. No one can say a word. It's just that they still have 3 tails in their hands, and it is difficult to become a real combat power without pillar power. In their opinion, these tailed beasts are all guys. Never obey human orders well. Therefore, pursuing the 6-tailed human pillar force will also become their task, but after obtaining it, who should occupy it? What are you thinking? You Union Village already have 2-tailed beasts. Chio's mother-in-law said coldly. A battle broke out between Yenian Village and the Spirit Country, and the 2 human pillar forces and tailed beasts all lost their tracks, and these 6 tails should rightfully belong to us. Tsuchikage Onoki spoke. Here, Ai Luo, who did not become the Wind Shadow, and no one told him to find his true heart. 3 generations of shadows have not changed. I didn't pursue the heart of my youth. He was just the stubborn old man who let old Z leave angry. Seeking benefits for Yenian Village is his goal. You guys have a big appetite. Terumi stood up, turned around and left. It was obvious that there was nothing to talk about this matter. Whether it is 3 tails or 6 tails, they are all obtained at great cost in Wuyin Village. Even if you can't get out of your body temporarily, it's not your turn to dictate these miscellaneous guys. 5 couldn't bear to disperse. Kaide was originally a small village man who performed tasks all year round and was accustomed to seeing the faces of the 5 great ninja villages. Hinata, who did not speak the whole time, was the last to leave the venue. You should be about the same age as my daughter. We are different. Kaide had never met the princess of the Hyuga clan. She knows that she is different from most of her peers just because she is a human pillar. The butterfly wings spread, and she was briskly about to fly away from here. The figure of an old man in the air has long appeared. It was the 3 generations of Metokage, Onoki. When noticing this scene, everyone stopped and watched. I am from Taki Hidden Village, and if this meeting does not come to fruition, then I will also return to the village to recover. Kaide said, his wings moved, and he flashed a distance in an instant. The focus of this meeting is to protect the tailed orc pillar force. You are dangerous now. What you want is our protection, so you must not leave this place until the Shao organization and the Qingling Ninja Village make a move. Onoki said this with his head bowed the whole time, and he did not look up because the gaze was gloomy. Sometimes, even he doesn't know what's going on. Deidara left, and so did Lao Zi. Over the years, he has worked hard to create a prosperous era of a ninja village like the 8th Flying Sun. Why did everyone leave him? Could it be that Yenian Village and Wuyin Village have the same, blood-mist age? It is impossible for the 6-tailed man Zuli to defect and the 4-tailed man Zuli Laozi is the same, right? He blocked in front of Feng, and his purpose was not simple. But it's all for Iwahide Village. 7 tails, 6 tails are all for you, see if you can hold the attack of Shao and Qingling Ninja Village. The 4th generation of Mei Lei Ying took a step forward again, not wanting to stop for this. He's had enough of this bunch of stupid guys. Do you want to bully a little girl? Terumi looked at the sky, but saw that Chio's mother-in-law on the side also acted. No one here knows about her. The Green Spirit Ninja Village will definitely get all the tailed beasts, and there will be a terrible war on that day. Until then, a complete approach must be prepared. Stop. Mifune jumped up, and the moment he drew his sword, he cut off the distance between Onoki and Kaide. You can't fight here. As the leader of the samurai, the legendary samurai Mifune is also enough to make Onoki temporarily stop. However, the box of greed has long been opened. In this ninja realm where one trajectory after another collapses, what may seem like the slightest change can trigger a chain reaction. Onoki, who has not been awakened by my arrow, temporarily subdue the misty hidden village of the 3 tails. Thanks to Konoha. as well as recovering the two pillars of power, Union Village that was ready to deal with the attack of Xiao organization. It is difficult to support alone, and it will definitely be warmed by the same weak Konoha. All this is like a grass snake gray line, pushing the ninja world into the bottomless abyss. The first thing Xiao is looking for must be the six tails outside, and the Qingling ninja village will accumulate strength. If the Rokuo is not taken back, war will be waged and the Qingling ninja village will be strangled in the cradle, and the 5 major ninja villages will return to the warring states period when the war died. I hope you are good to yourself. My Yenian village can have high mountains, natural danger. Onoki said and disappeared directly. Since no one wants to take care of things, and they don't want to be scolded, let's destroy them together. The 6-tailed man Zuli defected, and the 7-tailed person Zuli was in a small ninja village, and no one had the ability to stand up and take charge of the overall situation, and the result was already obvious. The stubborn little old man directly turned around and left the Iron Country. The meeting of the 5 shinobi ended unhappily. Afterwards, Sunahide Village and Konoha Village have reached a long-term cooperation in private. The Land of Earth is separated and difficult to support. Wuyin Village took care of itself, trying to find a new human pillar force. Land of Spirits. Yuyin Village. Nagato was angry, there were only 5 people left in the current Xiao organization. Never talk nonsense all day long, scaring people from time to time. The previous operation of Itachi and dried persimmon ghost fish was a great success and dragged Yao back. Pity. This guy achieves survival with a broken tail. The tail is the body, and the one who is taken away is the doppelganger. Looking at the outer path golem without any change, the chakra of the tailed beast was not completely absorbed. The plan failed badly. The distressed Nagato just wanted to find a chance to sleep well. This life is too disappointing. But right now, his dream has not yet come true. That is, the chakra of the tailed beast can create an attack similar to nuclear weapons at any time. Let the ninja world be nuclear. Absolute, Weasel, Ghost Mackerel, the next task needs to join forces. Tiandao Pain spoke. Not a single person questioned. It's just that now, it's a little inexplicable. Itachi, needless to say, as an undercover agent from Konoha Village. His younger brother is doing better in Qingling Ninja Village and is said to have awakened the Kaleidoscope Sharingan. Both the 3 generations and Danzo were killed, and everyone who could prove his identity basically clicked. As for Xiao, there were only 5 people left, and any plan seemed like empty talk, and a small part of the tailed beast was in Qingling Ninja Village. The dried persimmon ghost mackerel originally thought that Obito was Uchiha Spot. The only one who really was told the truth by Obito. After joining, he doubted life and respected Mr. Itachi. But strangely, even Ah-Fei, who he thought was Uchiha Ban, had become a member of the Qingling Ninja Village. Is this unlimited monthly reading still possible? Break off. As the 3rd son of Kagaya Itsuki, the mechanism is exhausted, and even Uchiha Madara has been played by him, and now he is rewarded by Qingling at a large price. A white absolute can be exchanged for an objective income of nearly a week. I hate it when I think about it. Heavenly Dao Pain is always expressionless. Who can believe that the owner of this body was a gentle teenager who always liked to laugh? Nagato, who was hiding behind this, coughed dryly. He knew that his time was running out, and if he didn't finish what he had to do, his life would come to an end. Inside the tower, Xiaonan rushed back, and when he saw everyone, he immediately announced a news. Deidara rebelled and is hunting Rokuo with Sasuke Uchiha. Do we need to move ahead? Take plan 1, or 2. Xiao Nan's intelligence undoubtedly surprised the members of the Xiao organization. As for plan 1, it is to attack Qingling Ninja Village with all the staff and take 1 tail, 4 tails, 5 tails, and 9 tails. The second plan is to first take down the Nanao of Kaninja Village and the Rokuo of the Misty Hidden Village. In short, the task line of Qingling Ninja Village will be bumped on sooner or later. Now, Qingling Ninja Village has undoubtedly become the best answer. What is the use of Deidara and Sasuke Uchiha taking it? They are nothing more than going to hunt the 6 tails, and it is better to go to Qingling Ninja Village if they have this opportunity. Opposite. Take it directly. Plan 1, begin. When they heard this, everyone looked up at Pain Ludao. Here's your chance. Uchiha Itachi's heart was full of joy, and Sasuke, this kid, could be considered to have escaped. Pain Rokudo, Uchiha Itachi, Dry Persimmon Oni, Konan, Zhe, and Nagato attack at the same time. Outside the Qingling shinobi village. The girl mustered up enough courage and came with a letter from Shinobamura. The strength of their Taki-yin village is not comparable to the 5 great ninja villages. But with the hero's water that can increase chakra tenfold. And they found out long ago that Qingling ninja village did not treat people with pillar power, but allowed them to survive. Once the meeting loses the joint protection of the 5 great ninja villages. She will follow everyone's instructions and come to seek this glimmer of life. It seems that the sword has gone sideways, but it is actually a wise move. The village is peaceful. Last night, after a banquet, Deidara excitedly teamed up with Sasuke early in the morning to leave. Immediately afterwards, they heard that last night's meeting of the 5 great shinobi villages did not seem to have yielded any results. Ai Luo, as the head of the defense department of Qingling Ninja Village, is patrolling. As a human pillar force, he and Shuhei sensed a familiar and unfamiliar aura at the same time. When he looked up, it was a girl with wheat-colored skin. You are. Kaide jumped smartly and flashed in front of Arrow. Her eyes flashed, which made a trace of impatience arise in the young man's heart. Compared to Naruto-kun, at most it is average. You are in the land of spirits, and under your feet is the richest center of the land of spirits, the Green Spirit Ninja Village. I, as the chief of defense of the Green Spirit Ninja Village and the Spirit Country, am here to block your purpose. According to the intelligence, you should be the Nanaue Ren Zuli from Taki Hidden Village. Quote. I love Luo Hao villain, and I am also the one who holds the supreme authority of the Qingling Ninja Village. This bit of information is still available. His appearance here also means that Kaide's appearance is not accidental. I take the mission of the village, as the 7-tailed human pillar force, to see your shadow. Kaide became unsmiling, which meant the safety of their village. The village is tucked away behind a waterfall and is usually relatively safe. But what follows is most likely a world-class war. Once their village is involved, life and death are uncertain. Well, Lord Rakage said that a traitor from your village is also in our village, and you are very welcome. Ai Luo bowed his head, as if he had received an order from Qingling. Soon, a way was made for it. Walking in this big village is much better than Takajin village. Kaide's heart was up and down, and soon the figure of Ai Luo chased after her and accompanied her. You, Lord Rakage, let me introduce you to the things in the village, lest you get lost. What introduction, it is obviously a kind of surveillance. Kaide thought to himself, this guy is quite handsome, and he is also a human pillar force, the son of the 4th generation of Mecha's shadow. Why did he have to become a traitor? Could it be that his father was arrested and threatened? As for that rebellion, Kaide's heart was even more uncomfortable, probably Jiaodu. This guy who loves money like life, according to the highest level of intelligence in the village, should have joined the Xiao organization. According to the latest information, after sending Weasel and others, the Xiao organization has been targeted by major forces including Union Village. Therefore, there is no doubt about their approximate location. The Yuyan village in the country of Lingzi, Qingling Ninja Village is undoubtedly dog eats dog, and everyone is happy to see them lose both. At that time, who will pick the fruit will become a mystery. She came in person, seemingly to be sent to the door, but in fact, before the crisis arrives, she will be the most likely to save her life. Because the owner of Qingling Ninja Village is Qingling Nine Tails. As a village of tailed beasts, as long as she is a human pillar power, it is enough to keep the village of Taki Yin. Ai Luo doesn't care what Kaide has in mind. This lively and cute girl died for the village. He also didn't know that as long as Qingling gave the task, he would definitely complete it desperately. This is the center of our village, called the Divine Tree, which Rakage-sama calls the New 10 Tails. Underneath this is where one of its doppelgangers rests. Quote. Where one of the doppelgangers rests. This is also one of them, the doppelganger needs to have a local message. Kaide was a little surprised, she also went south and north, from the outside to the inside, she saw that Qingling Ninja Village was comprehensive. If you just talk about the size and scale of the village, it is indeed only a little smaller than the 5 major ninja villages, but there are farms, livestock, fishing, river transportation, orchards. It is simply unimaginable that they themselves can live comfortably without relying on any village. It seems that there is no saber rattling at all, and there is no look of who to strike at. Could it be said that the rumors from the outside world are all false? Be careful, big stupid bug. Call me Chongming. Shozuru suddenly reminded, making Nanao unhappy at that time. Okay, big stupid worm, don't blame me for not reminding you. That guy is the Nine Tails, and he is also a stinky fox, but he is definitely not the Nine Llama, and he will definitely die if he violates his bottom line. Cut, I'm not as weak as you, Aikyo. After Chongming said, Kaide also understood the meaning and walked to the underground secret room. Her heartbeat couldn't help but quicken. The tail is not a symbol of strength. Shuhei couldn't stop cursing and cursing. I love Luo without any change of expression. In his opinion, it was the same as going home, no different. Deep down, Kaide is having a tense conversation with Shigemaki. Chongming, this Nine Tails is dangerous. No, don't be afraid, on the contrary, our cooperation should be easy to achieve. But Shozuru said that the Nine Tails will obliterate people with hostility. It also said that it was just a stinky fox, so we will definitely be fine. Kaide didn't understand the meaning of this sentence. It should be a little secret between the tailed beasts. The end of the chamber. Today Naruto went to the Ninja Academy to teach, and the others were conducting research on ninja tools, elixirs, and martial arts. He had to go alone to replace the lessons. Therefore, when Luo took Kaide to the underground secret room, it was already empty. The atmosphere seemed a little awkward. Hey, there seems to be a cute guy. The sculpture suddenly moved, coming to life. Next second, Qingling jumped to the ground and jumped alive. It's just right, the Yagi Great Snake needs some nutrition, you're fine. He scratched his face. Kaide quickly took a step back, and the wings of insects also conjured up behind him. This is actually the borrowing of chakra as the pillar power of the seven-tailed man. Not by tail, by wings. Cute. I was just going to go to Konoha to catch him. This guy has been undercover for too long, and the village of Orochimaru also has to be solved. Qingling muttered while combing his hair. Over time, he felt like a fox. However, it is also good news that the big snake pill and the scorpion can actually break through the research and advance. The big snake pill has been researched, and after experimenting for a long time, plus the help of the scorpion, it is even thicker. This broke through overnight and developed the first generation of martial arts ninja tools. Nanao, you need to take a break. As soon as Qingling poked his finger out, vines appeared in the underground secret room, tying up its maple 5 flowers. No matter how she struggles, chakra will be continuously sucked away by the green spirit. Until he was caught, he was locked up in the interior of the new 10 Tails, the cage space. Standing beside Qingling, I saw the legendary Yagi Great Serpent with my own eyes for the first time. Which is it? In the cage, chakra had already wrapped the maple in it. Even Chongming could not struggle. Chakra no longer lost, but quickly replenished. The Yagi Great Snake in their field of vision is just a scaled-down version, with only 6 tails. Since Qingling created the Yagi Great Snake with the help of horns, it has been in the state of 5 heads and 5 tails, but it was given to Chakra madly that he was able to break through. Not long after the birth of the 6th tail, it absorbed a lot of chakra. Seeing this loser thing, Qingling liked it more and more. As a rich Lingyiang, she really wished that there would be more such a loser. You're going to treat us as nourishment. Kaide said viciously, looking a little unlovable. Chongming struggled desperately, but was buried by an even larger amount of chakra. Big stupid worm, don't struggle, just sleep. Shuhei was envious when he saw this scene. He wanted to strengthen once a day. You are embarrassed. Chongming cursed angrily. It doesn't matter if it is injured by itself, but it affects the human pillar force. Don't you feel familiar? Qingling pointed to the mask on the shoulder of the Yagi Great Snake. Feng, who saw this scene, first stopped his gaze and was immediately creepy. What she didn't expect was that Kakato was transformed into a monster. Okay, I'll go out and see the research results of the little snake, we'll see you later. Qingling waved his hand and disappeared. In the village, cheers. It is said that the big snake pill and the scorpion studied overnight and successfully developed the first batch of martial arts ninja tools transformed with swords. And according to Qingling's introduction on the scroll, name it Flying Sword. On the square, the scorpion and the big snake pill stood far away. The two seemed to have broken up again from the moment the cooperation was temporarily completed. After all, there are still separate studies. One wants to continue the study of immortality, and the other wants to delve into the possibility of puppetry. Martial arts ninja tools are a project of cooperation between the two, and further improvement also requires the arrival of pockets. On the contrary, it was a flying sword suspended in midair, which was extremely dazzling. The sword body was integrated, emitting a faint streamer. Apparently a high-tech martial arts chakra crystallization. Everyone looked at this sword in amazement, and it seemed that there was nothing unique in it. Only Ningxi opened his eyes and saw that there was chakra flowing in it. And there are at least 3 different trajectories, which means that there are at least 3 programs responding. Why should a sword be so complicated? Ningxi wondered in his heart. A small fox the size of a palm had jumped onto his shoulder. Did the flying sword succeed? As soon as Qingling asked, the scorpion glanced coldly at the big snake pill. The relationship between the two seems to be really bad. After all, with the character of the big snake pill, he prefers spirit, and his body is immortalized together. The method of transforming it into a nucleus and turning it into a puppet has never been favored by the big snake pill, and the two have been fighting openly and secretly. Lord Lingying, according to your drawings and level arrangement, the flying sword should be regarded as a preliminary success, and it can be regarded as a junior martial arts ninja tool. Elementary martial arts ninja tools. The specific drawings were all recorded in the scrolls, and few people had really seen them except for the big snake pill and the scorpion. When they heard that there were standards, everyone looked around, trying to find a real understanding. The result is invariably a shake of the head. Primary martial arts ninja tools refer to refining, can inject personal spiritual power control, have multiple possibilities and powers, and are integrated with chakra and regeneration core. High-level martial arts ninja tools need to be more exquisite, which means that having a ninja that can threaten a village, and will also further strengthen the cooperation with the master, you can understand it as the ninja tools of the 6 immortals. The ultimate martial arts ninja tool needs to have an existence called the instrument spirit, and the ninja tool can also become stronger by itself, learn ninjutsu by itself, and even if its master does not have the ability to do it, it can also have strong combat power. Quote. Let the ninja fight by himself. Can you learn ninjutsu on your own, create and absorb chakra? How is this possible? Reserve ninjas would never believe such an outrageous setting. Next second. More than 30 flying swords hung behind the big snake pill, constantly staggering until they converged into a sword formation. The flying sword has a modified core, which can not only replenish chakra by itself, but also use your spiritual power to add imprints, and anyone who touches it and uses it will be perceived by you. Within a certain range, the flying sword can also fly at will, constantly tracking the attack. By the way, I also set up 2 other types of ninjutsu in it, which is already a high attainment in elementary martial arts ninja tools. At the same time, the flying sword is also supported, and multiple flying swords cooperate, because the arrangement set up inside, according to the number of different flying swords, can be formed into different sword formations to increase the power. Orochimaru flicked his fingers. The flying sword was immediately covered by the wind attribute chakra, and its speed and power were further increased, and even the sound of breaking the air could be heard. As soon as his gesture changed, the flying sword was immediately suspended in midair, and a remote chakra interface appeared in front of the big snake pill. Boom. Rumble. More than 30 flying swords exploded at the same time under his order, and even the terrifying power in midair still caused a shockwave, so that the reserve ninjas had to raise their hands to block with chakra. It's terrifying. Attack, accelerate, scout, and even self-detonate to keep enemies from taking it. So many features. It's impossible not to be impressed. The flying sword can be equipped with 1 per person in our Qingling Ninja Village, but after being obtained by the enemy, it must trigger the energy to make it self-detonate. In addition, each flying sword, after it arrives, must follow the instructions to leave its own spiritual imprint. If there is already a brand residue, then the probability is a second-hand flying sword. After Orochimaru finished speaking, dozens of flying swords hung behind him. It makes people swallow their saliva non-stop. Hee hee. The scorpion really couldn't look at it, He knew that martial arts forbearance had a good point, and it was just a handful of bulls for fighting. His puppet can also use the experience and transformation inside, especially the trick of imprinting, and can use the yin-yang escape technique to operate remotely. If you use the imprint in advance, as well as the direction of the chakra vein, leave the ninjutsu scroll. Or a large array of puppets, that's simply better. Unfortunately, these need further study. When that day comes, he won't have to do it himself. Smart puppets that can destroy any obstacle on their own. Shallow eyes. The scorpion really couldn't listen and interrupted the big snake pill show off. Flying swords. The most important thing is flying. Not only can a single flying sword capture people's heads, but also can form a sword array that doubles the power. However, one of the most basic requirements that Lingying gave us was that the flying sword must be able to fly. Not only can you fly, but you can also let the owner of the flying sword fly. Spirit Shadow called it Royal Sword Flight. He jumped up, and dozens of flying swords flew out from the space scroll behind him. The young man was dressed in a robe, stood on the flying sword, and stood in the air. Condescendingly, he naturally gives people a feeling of invincibility. Orochimaru scoffed at this. He believes that it should be more subtle, intelligent and functional. Scorpions are more stable and long-lasting, like puppets that work together perfectly. The different pursuits of the two mean that the flying sword also has different tendencies. So it is. Ningxi said to himself. The chakra pattern inside is to achieve different functions. Can the cold sword also change his destiny? Perhaps, the flying sword doesn't have its own consciousness. However, I am not a flying sword, so naturally I can't judge. Qing Ling said casually. Then wouldn't it be possible to have the thunder flying sword, the fire flying sword, and even the water sword from now on? Ningxi couldn't believe what kind of world it was. There are flying swords everywhere in the sky, will there be flying sword accidents? Be bold, the future doesn't necessarily just go towards what you see. Qingling said, his tail wagging around, unintentionally. Perhaps, your white eyes as an advantage can more accurately the chakra in the body, so that at each tempering, it can be balanced. If you use the white eye to naturally perceive and observe the chakra in the body, you can completely fill in a gap. In this way, every time you are promoted, you can do it perfectly, and the same level will definitely be stronger. Quote. With the advantage of the white eye, tempered to make up for every defect. Be the strongest in your class. Ningxi was shocked when he heard this, and he couldn't help but tears rolling in his eyes. He thought to himself, this must be the cultivation method that Qingling spent his energy coming up with for him. In the sky. The big snake pill also stood in the sky with a flying sword, because most of the strong people had tasks ahead. The preparatory ninjas watched this scene with adoration. Only a handful of lazy guys whispering on the roof. It's very ordinary, I definitely don't need to. Lao Zi stood on the eaves and said that he didn't need any flying swords at all. Yes, these are all things outside the body, only their own strength is really powerful. Han said confidently, when I learn all the chakra martial arts knowledge and theories in their village, I will bring all the information back. Quote. Until the evening. When Shin Ten Tails spit out Kaide. Before the girl could adapt to the power in her body, she saw the flying swords in the sky. She felt as if she had traveled to another world. The laughter of the people had nothing to do with her. Because the people from the outer village are not worthy of flying swords. This day, the flying sword has become a means of transportation for thousands of households. Tonight is the summer festival, are you going to see the fireworks? I don't know when. Iroh appeared next to Kaide. Fireworks. The 5 great shinobi villages have already had a meeting, and it is very likely that they will do something to you at any time. Quote. Feng doesn't understand, isn't what the Qingling ninja village should do right now is to do a good job of defense. Don't worry, Lingying said, those are local chickens and dogs, life is more important, and what I want to fulfill is also the task arranged by Lord Lingying to let you participate in the summer festival in our village. So it was. Kaide thought to herself, it turned out that he was not worried about waiting for her here, just for the task. That big snake of Yagi with 6 heads and 6 tails is the former rebel of your village, Kakato. Nanao reminded Kaide. Well, but why have we become stronger? Could it be that Lingying has other arrangements? Kaide followed Iroh and strolled through the night-filled village. A lantern, and a Kongming lantern on the grass in the distance. On it fell small notes, writing people's expectations for life. To make my mother feel better, wait until I go to the land of earth to pick her up. Lord Lingying, you must protect the village and the spirit country. Brother, Satsuki can eat every day, and she won't be as hungry as before. Are you okay in the sky? Feng's wings flashed quickly, chasing Kongming lanterns, seeing the expectations of people one by one. Can we leave? The village doesn't seem to be guarding against us. This guy called Ai Luo may not be able to stop me. Kaide said to Nanao. She had a very good understanding of Iroh at first sight, but if the Qingling shinobi village did not accept her alliance's proposal, she could only take the opportunity to leave. You are wrong, his strength is far beyond your imagination, and most people in this village cannot be described by common sense. Kaide, haven't you found out yet? Even if you hide your own strength, you still have a sense of oppression that surpasses you several times. Quote. Oppression. Several times. Kaide's perception is not weak, but she still does not have the delicate perception of Nanao Shigame. Qingling Ninja Village just looks imposing. Then there was the flying sword in the sky, and those people stood on a sword and cheered. I really don't know what the meaning is. She felt that perhaps all the smoke and dust in this world were unpredictable. It's just a maple leaf himself. Taki Hidden Village may one day become a large village like Qingling Shinobi Village, or it may be destroyed by a larger village. She flew out of Qingling Ninja Village at an extremely fast speed, and no one stopped her along the way. Iroh stopped blocking her from the moment she flew into the air, letting her leave. It seems that people don't care about her existence of Nanaui at all. Outside the village. One by one, the figures in robes have already reached the top of the mountain, overlooking the beautiful night scene. It seems that our luck is good. Seven-tailed man pillar force, Kaide. The dried persimmon ghost mackerel has a smile on his face and doesn't look cute at all. Xiao. Feng did not expect that the village was very lively, and outside the village was already a network of heaven and earth organized by Xiao. On either side of Pain's 6 roads are Xiaonan, Ju. On the other side are ferrets, dried persimmon ghost mackerel. In the face of this lineup, Kaide, who had just been upgraded, had no idea how strong his strength was, but instinctively flew in midair, not daring to land easily. She originally thought that she had escaped from the 5 great ninja villages and came to the Qingling Ninja Village, but these were just means for small villages to move between large villages. It just happens to be able to see the uneven levels of the world. I don't think about it. This war will eventually evolve into the Battle of Yuyan Village and Qingling Ninja Village in the Land of Spirits. She originally thought that Qingling Ninja Village needed more tailed beasts. As a result, people don't care at all. Now that she met Xiao organization again, the uneasiness in her heart made her want to do something, and she decisively chose to turn around in an instant. Return to Qingling Ninja Village. That's where it's safe. Want to go? Pain flashed out 6 times one by one. You can't leave. Ignoring ninjutsu, absorbing chakra, Shinra Tianzheng, and Vientian Tianyi and this group of monsters joined forces. Even the upgraded Nanao and Kaide were not opponents. Kaide was surrounded by Pain's 6 paths in all directions, and a pair of wings quickly appeared on his body, and began to transform into 7 tails. Go. Sand appeared in the sky at the first moment, a tail of crane guards pillar force. I love Luo, hands folded arms, eyes full of strong fighting intent. They are strong. As soon as Kaide wanted to remind, he saw towering trees rising up in the mountain forest. Under the martial arts Shinobu I love Luo, plus the chakra of Shozuru. Cast Mu done directly. As a proud protege of the Qingling, the owner of this blood succession limit. The forest immediately went berserk. There were more and more preparatory ninjas in the Qingling Ninja Village, and they formed a large circle to make this place drain, and soon formed a perfect encirclement. Take advantage of forests and mountains. Mu Dun and Tu Dun emerge one after another. Have people here transplanted cells between the 1,000-hand pillars. The heart is full of doubts, strange, too strange, Qingling Ninja Village is full of mysteries. Interesting, our night raid has become their encirclement. Plus the 7 tails, this village has gathered 5-tailed beasts, which is really amazing. Dried persimmon ghost mackerel pulls out of the knife excited, He just wants to give everyone here a big waterfall as quickly as possible. Form a sword formation. The voice of the big snake pill sounded. This was followed by the figure of the scorpion. At this time, the radius of 3,000 meters was already surrounded by a 10-meter high wall composed of wooden dun and earth dun. Use all the water dun, and then attack with the fire dun after they lose their footing. Hearing my Iluo's order, everyone quickly cooperated. The water of thousands of people opened up, as if building an extraordinary huge swimming pool, so vast, just walking on this land felt happy. What they want to meet is the rebellion of the Spirit Kingdom. Qingling Ninja Village is the center of the Spirit Country. Then the disobedient Yuyan Village is naturally a gathering place for rebels. This battle can also be regarded as cleaning up the portal. It seems that I was looked down upon. How could a dried persimmon ghost mackerel drown in water? What's more, his mastery of Shui Dun was far beyond that of ordinary ninjas. The moment he dived into the water, Su, a flying sword and a puppet directly entered the water and began to hunt him down. This kind of insect carving trick. The dry persimmon ghost mackerel's words did not fall, and more than 10 flying swords directly burst. Next second, in the mouth of the blown shark, a ghost mackerel that fused with the muscles of the mackerel escaped. Did the scorpion also become a traitor? He spewed out a mouthful of black blood. Trees, water, and even the newly built super bath dam are everywhere white. He is absolutely ready to take the opportunity to escape, whether he loses or wins, and if Pain 6 Dao goes all out, it will be dangerous. This place is not safe, so take advantage of the opportunity. Mr. Zhu, I haven't seen you for a long time. Ah, I fell and accidentally scratched Mr. Zhu. Ah Fei flashed behind Zhu and threw the bloodstained Kuwu to the excited Fei Duan. You two traitors. Obito, I'm going to make your identity public, are you worthy of Uchiha? Quote. When I saw Fei Duan quickly draw a formation and get his blood, I just wanted to curse. The Xiao organization is now dead with one, along with 3 traitors. Fortunately, Deidara's guy is the middle two, it should not be possible. His thoughts did not stop, above the large bath. Deidara opened her arms and laughed maniacally. Let you underestimate my art again, and say that I am not a blood succession limit. I have 8 chakra attributes, why can't I have a blood succession limit? Quote. Actually, Deidara's statement is wrong. Mu Duan, one of the 8 attributes he thought, was itself a blood succession limit. Itachi, go and die with your Sharingan. When Deidara laughed maniacally. A sword light streaked across the sky. Uchiha Sasuke slashed the huge psychic beast with a single sword. Turned his head to look at Uchiha Itachi. The next moment, the 6-tailed man Zhu Liu master took the foam-blowing ninja tool and looked at Xiao Nan in front of him. Qingling Ninja Village is very lively. Unlike the lively village. Even the ninja world, which is constantly fighting and always fighting, will have such a peaceful corner. I can't imagine that people like you would join a group of arrogant maniacs. Conan, who didn't expect Sasuke and his group to take down Hataka so quickly. Yutaka is strong, and Nagato originally planned to personally dispatch Pain Rokudao to catch it. I wasn't coerced by anyone, I chose here. Foam constantly flew out of Yutaka's body. Creeping tails also began to appear behind him. The extremely corrosive acid began to overflow. Swish. The paper gathered behind Xiao Nan formed wings, and with one swing, hundreds of detonation charms flew out and bombarded with the foam art of feathers. Just as the detonator exploded, Hataka had long been hidden in a huge bubble, pushed away by the exploding heat wave, and disappeared without a trace. Pain 6 shots quickly razed the surrounding trees to the ground. Yu Gao, who was just about to flee and continue to look for an opportunity to attack, was directly pulled into his hands by Tendo Pain's Vientiane heavenly introduction. Your souls will be taken away. A chakra dragon suddenly appeared, and everywhere it went, it stopped breathing. This is the chakra dragon that can take away the soul. Is this the feeling of death? Hataka spread out his palm, and the foam-blowing ninja slammed to the ground. In the village, Hotaru, who was wrapped in the orange 9-tailed chakra, involuntarily trembled his fingers. A firefly flew out of the palm. If it's a moth to a fire. Why can't fireflies like only foam? After all, whether it's the light of a firefly or the beauty of a bubble, it's only a moment. Can't live, this summer. A day ago. At night. As always, the young man spit bubbles and play with the bubble toys in his hand from time to time. His name is Hataka, known as Bubble. He likes to spit bubbles, and as a human pillar force of the Six Tails, he has great strength. At the same time, he is also a rebel from the Wuyin village. Unfortunately, he had an unrecognized disciple called Hotaru. The memories of the past in the Blood Mist Age made him never recognize the word master, and every time he thought about it, it was like a nightmare. Endless assassinations, brutal slaughter. Recently, I heard that the fourth generation has died, and the fifth generation is Terumi. He is also almost 30 years old this year, not much different from Terumi. The two can be regarded as having grown up together in the village. He sat on a large tree, spitting out a bubble from time to time, watching the starlight and moonlight add color to the bubble. There is a small village nearby called Earth Spider. They possessed a powerful forbidden technique in their time, possessing great power and being able to destroy everything in an instant. The stupid girl who considered herself his disciple now lives in the village. Gao Yu closed his eyes, his bangs covering half of his face, but he couldn't stop the surging nightmare. If I could, I really didn't want to experience a village like that, let alone become a ninja. Just as Rokuo yearns for freedom, he doesn't want to live comfortably. I really want to start a trip to more and further places. I heard that between the country of fire and the country of wind, there is a place called the Land of Spirits, which is friendly to tailed beasts and human pillars. He thought that if the trip began, he could pass by and take a look, but he would never settle because he would not feel safe. Just as he likes to sleep in a tree, because it is convenient to move and escape at any time, avoiding enemy infiltration and assassination. This habit was also cultivated in Wuyin village. Yutaka rolled over and continued to close his eyes against the tree, hoping that the stupid girl would not come back before falling asleep today. He thought to himself, what kind of master-apprentice bond, he would never admit this kind of thing, and he felt hateful when he thought about it. Under the tree. The girl searched carefully. She didn't know which big tree master would be resting on tonight, but at least she had to find him first. She has long blonde hair and is perfect even in the moonlight. The face is gentle and moving, whereas the girl. It is clearly a beautiful woman standing in a pavilion. Master. Sure enough, she came anyway. Hataka opened his eyes and jumped straight down from the tree. Don't say more. Two people came from the village, and they said that they came to find you, from the Qingling ninja village in the spirit country. Although Hataka seems to be cold and ignorant, Hotaru knows that he is a very delicate and gentle person. Chakra with 9 tails. Rokuo said to Hataka. As the 9 tails human pillar force here. It must be him, this is so powerful that chakra, it must be that guy is right. 9-tailed man pillar force. Hataka thought to himself, let's leave this small village after dawn. Go further afield. As for Qingling Ninja Village, he would never go. Because when the 9-tailed man Zuli took the initiative to walk up to the door, it meant that there was a request for someone, and their purpose was not simple, and they were not the people he wanted to look at. It's better to never see you again. Master, they are there. Hotaru said happily that she always laughs, and sometimes she is unhappy, and she doesn't know what she is thinking. However, most of the reason she is unhappy is because Yutaka is having nightmares. Some people's past has long been full of flowers for a lifetime, and there are petals flying everywhere they go. Some people spend their lives looking for petals that spiral into the sky, but they refuse to look down for a flower seed. Yu Gao, I'm afraid I won't be able to get out of the blood mist in this life. If she could, she was willing to give anything, including her life. Fortunately, 2 people came to the village today. They claim to be from the Spirit Shinobi village, the legendary land of spirits, and they are said to be friendly to the tailed beasts, and they are led by teenagers from the Uchiha clan. It's still the 9-tailed man pillar force. Hotaru thought to himself, he and the master are so similar, there should be something unique. Did Xiao and Qingling Ninja Village join forces? It's really a hill. When Hataka stood in front of Sasuke and Deidara, his first words brought the atmosphere to a freezing point. I heard Lingying say that you are a bubble artist before I decided to take a look. The task I was originally in Xiao should be to win the sand sculpture artist I Luo, you kid don't be ignorant. Deidara glanced at him and smiled so hard that she couldn't close her mouth. After what he had just observed in the forest. This feather is indeed very melancholy, and has an artistic talent beyond ordinary people. Qingling sensei, are you going to kill him and take the 6 tails? Sasuke's gaze looked at Hitaka coldly, with double kaleidoscopic chakra eyes, murderous and wanton. Didn't you say we had to talk about it? Hotaru looked at Sasuke and Hitaka in confusion. Don't be impatient, there are people lurking around here, how about finding out first? Another voice came from within Sasuke. 9 large chakra hands stretched out from behind his back and grabbed directly towards the forest. A swift figure also flashed out at the first time and fled quickly. On a midsummer night, everything seemed unusual. You take a picture, don't you know who is the fastest in the all-ninja realm? The 9 chakra big hands directly caught the person lurking in the secret. With short purple hair, he grinned, unable to avoid no matter how he struggled. One of the tails directly turned into a fox's head, tearing off one of his legs in one bite. It hurts, you monster. The lurking person cursed, feeling that he was unlucky when he met Qingling. White Waves. This person is called White Wave in the Earth Spider Ninja Village, also known as White Wave. It was the one who assassinated his father just to seize the occult art. Small villages, not necessarily weak, they may have their own special bloodline, blood succession limit, or hidden some rare forbidden art. The owner of the forbidden art of Earth Spider Village this time is Little Firefly, who seems to be harmless to humans and animals. After Bai Lang defected from the ninja village, he established his own power, bent on waiting for an opportunity to take revenge, seize the forbidden art, and dominate the world. I have to say that he is indeed a frog at the bottom of the well. Little girl, this guy is ready to trigger the forbidden technique in your body. Qingling's big chakra hand was like playing, and he tore off one of Bai Lang's arms. You let me go, I will definitely tell you the activation method of this forbidden technique. Bai Lang was in pain to madness, it was terrible, what kind of monster was this? Oh. Quickly absorb natural energy, and then release it, bursting out, powerful enough to destroy a ninja village in an instant, and if you are not careful, the owner of the forbidden art may also die. It's terrible. However, this skill is only an advanced version of my blue spirit immortal art, and when little Naruto is transformed, he should be able to do it. Qingling said, and directly unloaded it into 8 pieces. No forbidden technique is worth wasting his time. At the moment, the super reincarnation innate has reached its final critical juncture. He didn't want to waste his time doing anything else. Absorb natural energy and release it quickly. If you don't learn immortal arts, if you don't have chakra dantian, it's very dangerous. Sasuke said to Hotaru when he heard this. Fairy. Chakra dantian. Neither of them seemed to be accessible to ordinary people, and he had never heard of the latter. Immortal arts can only be learned in places like Longdi Cave and Miaomu Mountain, and the other places not mentioned, because there are precedents for the first 2. The last one is simply a mystery, and the only possibility is the original Hokage, but it is only suspicious. Rokuo said this to Hitaka, he was obviously a little nervous. What the? If you can't learn these 2, wouldn't little Hotaru be very dangerous? It is possible to die at any time. Yu Gao, who had always disapproved of this disciple, could no longer deceive his heart. Is there any way? Rhinoceros. Yes, if you have a tailed beast level physique, and an equally massive amount of chakra, you can replace it forbidden, but in that instant it is transferred to your body. You will also explode directly, the danger level is extremely high, first exhaust my chakra for transfer. Then use the same amount of chakra to save the danger after the forbidden technique gets out of control. Quote. Isn't this the equivalent of needing 2 6-tailed chakras? Once the transfer is complete, the 6-tailed rhinoceros becomes weak, how can it be quickly replenished? Yutaka knew that this was simply a fool's dream. Master, I'll be fine. Little Hotaru smiled stupidly, but Yutaka had already seriously looked for forbidden techniques. Sure enough, when he discovered the forbidden technique, it was difficult to speak for a while. What's the use of that fairy magic? He asked Sasuke rhetorically. It can control the natural energy absorbed, making her safer. What about chakra dantian? Yutaka asked. Storing chakra also improves her potential and physique, and can better control chakra, and then her life will be completely worry-free. Can't believe it. Yutaka asked the 6-tailed rhinoceros in his heart if there was such a strange secret technique in the world. Strangely, the answer is no. I heard that Tsunade, one of Konoha's 3 shinobi, has developed a 100 heroic technique that can burst out a powerful chakra when necessary, and it is very likely to be similar to the chakra dantian. The rhinoceros and Hitaka have only been together for more than 20 years, but before that, it has also experienced the power of the human pillar, and it has also experienced the demigod Hanzo, and later in the era of the real rise of Konoha Sanshin. Even in the period when the demigod Hanzo was at its strongest, the 3 shinobi of Konoha were only formable, and they did not have the absolute school that they later matched the world. Immortal body, immortal art, and 100 hero art were all really learned after being called Sanshinobi by Hanzo. Fortunately, the rhinoceros lived long enough. Che, I really want to blow up this place. Deidara was very upset when she heard their conversation, it was really grinding, and she would hit if she wanted. Xiao Di, the immortal art Na Chi chapter plus chakra dantian, and then you can increase the power of the explosion, and it is the level of a random village. Qingling's casual words made Deidara's interest increase a lot. Teacher Lingying, can you directly complete the breeding of the 9-tailed chakra seed in my body? I want to blow up the rock-hidden village with the 9-tailed chakra. Deidara's expression almost contorted with a smile. Be quiet, go back and teach you some unique skills. Good. Deidara was happy, his attributes increased, and chakra multiplied several times, making him a lot happier. Coupled with the improvement of chakra martial arts to his strength, Deidara is frantically developing his own true explosion. He wants to create a detonating clay with all attribute chakra mixed together. In the village, it was the first time that people had seen Yutaka look so discouraged. You just left. Village. Sasuke, Deidara, and the others said goodbye to the villagers here after Qingling pinched Bai Lang to death. How else? Want to fight? Sasuke looked at him coldly. Since you don't want to leave with them, then each of them is fine. Even Qingling didn't want to trouble others. You informed me of the existence of the forbidden technique, and then turned around and solved the black hand behind the scenes, leaving a mess so that we can only rely on you. How could Yutaka trust them easily? The mist-hidden village where he lived since he was a child can become a blood mist overnight, and even his most respected master can become a murderous madman. How can he recognize it? We didn't say anything, it's your choice. Sasuke paused and stopped under the moon again. I heard that the Xiao organization was chasing the murderer Zuli, and we met their members on the road, running fast and not chasing. Know the organization. Yu Gao knew that since the Qingling ninja village could find him, then the Xiao organization must also be able to. If he stays in the Earth Spider Ninja village, it will definitely bring danger to everyone. If Hotaru is saved, what will cost me, and will I be allowed to perform any special mission? Hitaka's past experience taught him that everything comes at a price. He couldn't let Hotaru live in danger. Yes. Of course there are tasks. The fox was dressed in a green robe and crawled in the moonlight, his voice was like a whisper, and no one should come close. On the night road, people from a village sat on a cart in panic. One by one, the puppets pulled the carts and transported the people. They also did not want to leave their long-standing village. But the visitors told them that there would be all kinds of dangers next. There will also be the existence of Xiao organization, which specializes in starting wars and assassinations. In order to save their lives, they also began to migrate. Hitaka and Hotaru, Sasuke, and Deidara sat in the same cart. The curtain hangs down. The atmosphere was awkward to the extreme. He originally thought that the task given by Qingling should be dangerous, but he did not expect that the task given by Qingling was to take the whole village to take refuge. As long as he can migrate to the vicinity of Qingling Ninja Village, let little Hotaru learn the real Qingling immortal art and have the opportunity to open up the chakra dantian. Hitaka hated the danger of being killed the most, and for the sake of the lives of the villagers, especially Hotaru, he had to temporarily agree. How about escorting the villagers to another place they've never been to? Yu Gao lowered his head and let the small cart move forward slowly. Is Qingling Ninja Village really good for human pillar power? Hotaru saw that Sasuke was cold and seemed to be as non-verbal as her master, so she asked Deidara, who was relatively approachable. Of course, I am the 9-tailed pillar force, and Lingying is my teacher. Deidara pointed to himself, spread his hands, and his tongue spat clay in his palm. When the nine-tailed seed in my body really grows, I can integrate the nine-tailed chakra into my clay, and I will blow up this world and let the gods witness my art. Ah. Hotaru felt as if she had asked the wrong person, and quickly closed her mouth and sat quietly, motionless. Deidara looked out the window depressedly, gradually distracted. This is the thinking time that belongs to the artist. Early morning. They had been rushing all night, and on this road, more and more people had gathered. The puppet that Qingling borrowed from the scorpion earlier, and a few more pushed carts for these tired people. Where are you and why are you with us? The people of the Earth Spider village felt strange when they saw people wearing shabby clothes and dragging their families with them. Could it be said that the target of the Xiao organization is not only their soil spider village? You don't know that yet. I must have skipped work to Qingling Ninja Village, where my distant cousin lived and was doing quite well. Judging by your appearance, you are similar to us, and you must have fled too. The enthusiastic voices of these people woke up Yutaka in the cart. He didn't make a sound, just listened to them quietly. We live in the mountains and wilderness, not relying on those daimyo, but in order not to let them find out, we generally do not leave the village, plus the harvest is small, and we lack some daily necessities, so we can only make do with it. The people of the Earth Spider Shinobi village really have an average life. In order not to be at the mercy of the daimyo and to protect the forbidden arts, they had to live in the mountains by themselves. Yes, this is not a way either. When the fields of the daimyo are more and more, sooner or later the land will be cleared to you, and it is useless to hide. The farmer who fled to Qingling Ninja Village said. But everywhere in the world is the same. Last year my youngest daughter left because of a sudden cold and heat. Our village has limited medical conditions, and if we don't save it. Rice balls, the last time I ate it was half a month ago. Last year's harvest was not good. You have to save some, otherwise you will starve in winter. That's okay. The last time I ate a group was when I was a child. My father saved it for a long time. Rice balls. To wrap the rice in nori seaweed, it is delicious to eat, and people usually wrap pickled plums, and if you are wealthy, you can also wrap grilled fish. A rice bowl is not difficult to eat. It is just that most of it must be given to the daimyo, and the rest can only be used to barely wrap the belly. If you want to eat a meal ball, you also have to find a timing. Fortunately, the people of the Earth Spider village avoid the daimyo and live better, but the place where they live is somewhat barren and the harvest is poor, so they have to prepare for the cold winter and the coming year. Life could have been a little better. If there are no daimyo who sit back and enjoy it. The men were silent, they did not yet know what their fate would be for tomorrow. That Qingling Ninja Village you are talking about, is it really so powerful? The people of the Earth Spider village became curious, they also wanted to see if they were sick, not to starve in winter, and not to worry about the coming year. I don't know, it's all written by relatives, and we don't know. My mother said that wherever there is a place in the world where you can really eat, it is all a lie. But I don't believe it, I don't want to, I'm going to take a look, even if I die on the road, I have to take a look. You say, this person lives in the world, at least he must grit his teeth and look at the days that only exist in his dreams. The man tapped the pole of the cart hard. His wife was skinny and quickly handed over a jug of water. If only the children could learn ninjutsu, and the ninjas would have a much better life by doing errands for the daimyos and performing various tasks. We are not from a large family, even if we are, we can live for several generations, and it is good that 2 of the 10 ninjas can live to be 50 years old. If you want to eat well, you can. That's a gamble with your life. There are more and more people on the road. In fact, there are too many people walking towards Qingling Ninja Village, the spirit country. Noon. Their group finally stepped into the area of the spirit country. Some people cheered and saw an avenue that came into view. Look, it's so generous. Quick, get off this road, you'll die. The fleeing people suddenly became anxious and did not dare to stay on this road any longer. Only then did the people wake up and quickly flee. What road, so dangerous? Hitaka and Hotaru opened the curtain and looked at the road. It was enough to accommodate 4 carriages driving side by side. The roads are paved with the kind of material found in large villages, which is so strong that it looks expensive. There are also fences on both sides of the road. Inside the fence are railroad tracks. Truly According to the past practice, this kind of road is definitely not for these people to walk, it must be a road exclusive to the daimyo. Which of them qualifies? Abominable. Yutaka pinched the car bar indignantly. Master. Hotaru looked worried, not wanting to make Hataka angry. Woohoo. The steam boiled and the horn sounded. A steam train sped past the tracks on the other side of the road. The timid children cried. The adults were already numb, and at this moment they were standing in place at a loss. Not for a while. Another track, a train in the opposite direction also galloped. Stopped next to them. Did you flee from outside? At a small stop, which is considered by everyone to be a resting place, the train stopped. The crowd looked at each other, afraid of being expelled. I am from Qingling Ninja Village. Today is my duty. If you are going to Qingling Ninja Village, then get on the bus, bring your family and luggage. This was developed by the village scientists Orochimaru and Scorpion, who originally thought that this kind of thing was meaningless. But Lord Lingying retained, let it be further extended, and transformed this big fellow. And to all directions, it is almost the road of Yuyin Village, but they seem to be unwilling. Obviously the technology is very advanced, but they always reject us. The man said cheerfully, and everyone got into the car in a panic. The fleeing men sat in their seats, listening to the buzz as the train drove. Worn-out carts were abandoned on the road. People went from fear to surprise to cheers. Hataka looked out the window, and the sun left overhead and headed into the distance. The sun is setting again. That's when the moon will also rise. Hopefully, there won't be too much danger. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and support our channel.